Just getting January year-over-year PPI information coming through here. 0.9% to the upside versus 0.6 expected. So that's higher on the PPI for January. Remember, earlier in the week, we got the December number. This one a little bit more current, 0.9% versus 0.6 expected there. The forecast 0.8 on the year-over-year number. Core, 2%. Higher than expected, 1.7%. So two back-to-back in a row here this week that come in much higher than the market was looking for. Building permits coming through there as well, 1.47 million, down slightly, 1.5 expected. We'll get Michigan consumer sentiment coming up at 10 o'clock this morning. Remember, there's an inflation portion to this number as well, both a 5-year and 1-year expectation for inflation on that 10 a.m. number. Fed's bar scheduled for 9:10 this morning. We'll get daily coming through at 12:10. A lot to get there. A lot to get to this morning. Yeah, market downside here on this PPI number. Again, if you're hearing that for the first time, PPI is producer price index. So the prices that producers are having to charge for manufacturing goods. It's Friday, February 16th, 2024. Tradertv.live starts now. Yeah, there's the NASDAQ just loading up here for the Qs. Downside after that PPI print. I mean, we're still basically flat on the session. The NASDAQ holding on to a slight gain. S&P now just slightly negative on the morning overall, 435 there. For the Qs coming into play, PPI is not a number that typically moves the market. No. When it comes in the wrong direction, to the extent that we just saw, you can get a bit of a reaction. But again, the producer side, prices being paid for producers to manufacture goods for PPI versus CPI, which is the consumer price side of things. So downside we go once again. We'll see where some support comes in here. We're still positive on the morning here. For the NASDAQ anyways, we'll keep an eye on that. I was noting Apple downside. Apple was gapping up. We'll talk about that. But if you missed it or just joining a little bit late here, the core number, 0.5%. On the month over month, 0.1 expected there. PPI year over year, 0.9% versus 0.8 was forecast, but the consensus 0.6. So that's a pretty decent sized miss to the upside there across the board. If you just look at core, so take out energy, 2% versus 1.7. Why are you waving at me, Fabian? Okay. Yeah, downside we go here.
Yeah, interesting. I really want to delve deeper into see where the inflation is coming. Is it coming from commodities or is it coming from finished goods? I'm looking at my data here on the Department of Labor website, and so it looks like we had deflation with respect to goods, and we're still getting inflation in the PPI component with respect to services. That's where the inflation is remaining sticky. So we'll have to delve deeper, see exactly where that is, Brendo.
Yeah, basically back to flat here, 435 on the morning here for the NASDAQ once again. Neil under the weather to head into the long weekend here. So Obi is with us once again. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Yeah, no better time to be under the weather than into a long weekend. You get an extra long weekend.
Oh, yeah.
We hope Neil gets better.
Yeah, I hope he feels
but
better.
we're happy to have you here, Obi, and it's going to be another exciting day. I mean, I was sitting here thinking that we have some couple long ideas. We have Apple, we have Tesla breaking, we've got Uber, we've got a lot of good names to trade through here today, but, you know, that PPI seems to be sending it a little bit to the south side like CPI did, and then we called the bounce back on CPI day. I don't know. I'm not really feeling it as much today. Let's see. We're up because we started at 18,000, which is a little bit of a different situation today. Now we make the move back down, almost down 100 points straight down. We still have 17.8 that we're looking at here on the NASDAQ. So I feel like there's a lot of opportunities to hit right now. 17.8. That would be sort of where I think there's a possible bounce, which means the NASDAQ probably has to get down about half a point or so, percentage point. Then we'll get down to that. But let's see what happens here as PPI is sending the market down. I'm bidding Tesla at 200. I mean, the sticky note will be out soon. But a couple bad earning reports with ROKU, a couple good ones. We got Coinbase with a nice, huge move back up to the upside. Thank you for everybody staying late. Yesterday was another great show. SMCI is blasting. I mean, I don't know, man. The saga continues here, I guess, in the chip names.
Yeah, I didn't really check what SMCI is doing this morning. Oh yeah, okay. So we finished pretty strong at the end of the day, and I was like, all right, what's the probability of a gap? Yeah, it pretty much gapped up, what, 50 points? It's at 1060 right now. So 1,060 points right now.
Wow.
Is where SMCI is trading at with a high of 1078. So very interesting. That 1,000 break, that was definitely something yesterday. Wild.
All right, a few things to note here. Just hearing dollar downside, we can bring up the, or upside, I should say, not downside on that number. Back higher after 2 days downside for the DXY on the daily chart here. That's a decent sized move back to 104.6 essentially for the dollar. Just noting the 30-year 4.46, just like that, turns around on a dime. We got down to 4.3 or 4.35 yesterday was the low. Right back to 4.45, 4.46 for the 30-year. So yields higher, dollar higher. Inflation continues to be the main theme.
Yeah, I just got to delve deeper and see where this is, and this is actually a disinflation, right? We're seeing actually deflation. We're in the goods sector, and this is what I want to point out to you guys. So goods down month over month on PPI about 0.2%. It's services that continue to actually pump up here. So we're actually having a reduction in the amount of in the PPI goods component, but we're still increasing in services. But to build on your point, Brendo, 3.18% here for the 2-year as it comes very much near highs. The area that we topped out at was in mid to early October. We got to that 4.7 print. We're at 4.645 right now. So the 2-year continuing to keep things high.
We'll see if this trend of buying the dips continues, because every single time we've had a number like this and we get that flush, the buy programs just step in and just buy it right back up. So a little bit of a bounce underway right now for the overall market. Again, this is not a huge move. S&P down, what is it, 15, 20 handles, I guess, for the S&P, the NASDAQ a little bit more than that, but it's not a huge move. NASDAQ, as we said, still positive on the morning. We were talking, Sean mentioned this after the close yesterday, but huge news from Apple right at the close yesterday. On the AI front, it was Bloomberg that reported it initially, that they are working on a Copilot type, GitHub type AI product to challenge Microsoft. Meanwhile, Sam Altman making the rounds once again this week, trying to raise money. There's some more headlines that came out this morning to the effect of him even trying to appease the government side of things in the US on this chip project for OpenAI.
Yeah, just start off with Apple here, Brendo. It's very interesting. It looks like it's going to be very similar to Copilots, where it's going to be able to finish code for you. That's specifically for developers. With respect to the actual users, they're already incorporating aspects of AI already in iOS. So if you were to go to Photos, for example, and you use a search feature, you could type in dog or type in anything specific that you're looking for, an object, and it'll be able to identify what's in the picture and narrow down your search. So, you know, kind of incorporating undercover. Now they're actually looking at making a bit bigger with the Spotlight search feature to be able to search your entire phone using AI and some other stuff. I was expecting more of an announcement in the developer conference in June, but looking to front run it here.
I'm wondering how much of this, you know, snuck through the cracks almost, because if typically if it's Bloomberg that is the first one to have information like this, they found it somewhere and just threw it out to the world just to see what would happen. But no, you're right. It's very not like Apple to not have a formal announcement and be able to keep something under wraps.
Right.
But you know, we've been talking about them obviously working on something in the background for quite some time here. Microsoft, meanwhile, positive right now, trying to bounce off basically where we ended the day yesterday on this, I guess, OpenAI headline as well, that Sam Altman, again, trying to appease the government side and the regulatory side for his plans when it comes to GPUs and the manufacturing of chips as well.
Yeah, definitely. Softy was one to watch yesterday. What do you think about that?
What do I think about Softy?
Yeah.
I was, all right, I was doing something else. Okay, so that Apple stuff, I mean, I said this yesterday on the after show. I think that's great news. I mean, when they dropped that, you saw Apple just rip to the top side up to 186. But then again, you come in today and now we have the market, heading back to the low side right now. Can Apple hold it? I mean, Apple's actually red, as opposed to what the market is. So this is a little disappointing for me. I came in today thinking that we would be, really trying to see Apple go, because we finally got the AI story that we wanted, but it's not about the phone, it's not about Siri, it's nothing like that. As we mentioned, it's sort of to challenge Microsoft's GitHub Copilot project that they have there. But that doesn't mean that I don't have Apple as the #1 name here on the sticky note today. I'm going long on this 182. I like the stock, I like the story. I feel like this has been, not loved, obviously, as we have some Chinese issues as well. Possibly, we talked about delayed shipments, and we got that story from one of those analysts before earnings that, weaker than expected demand potentially there in China. And they confirmed that on their earnings, right? So, yeah, we got hit down on Apple. This was the earnings day candle right here. It was a nice move. It came into 180, then ripped back up to 190, hits the 50 period, and now we're bouncing around the 200. So I think this is a positive catalyst. I mean, more AI, the better it is, in my opinion. So we'll look to trade Apple long off of 182. And then to go back over to your question about Microsoft, yeah, Microsoft kind of a hold my beer moment. They just said, yeah, whatever, that's a nice story. And it didn't even really do anything. So here in the aftermarket, sure, you go from 406 to 405, like $1 on a $400 name on that kind of a release is nothing. There's so much love for Microsoft, so much love for the Copilot product, for Azure, for server side, AI, Gen AI. They're here, they're ChatGPT, like everything that is AI right now and monetization, has to revolve around Microsoft. And that's why you get this huge bump. Microsoft is the opposite, right? It's well above the 50-period moving average. It's not even coming close. I mean, it will come close, I feel like. It's only 390. But, for now, we're well off this. I think you stay long on Microsoft as well, and probably in around this 405, 404 area. But the thing is that the stories today are around Apple. Yeah. So although I do believe in Microsoft, and it's, again, a large holding that I plan to never sell, I think that you trade Microsoft here if you're a day trader. So that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I think Apple, that 180 has kind of proven itself over the past few months, and then it kind of locks it in with the earnings reaction right there. You can see this is a 15-minute chart. This is the beginning of the year, January. You can see those supports on top of 80, and then look at that earnings reaction. You get a strong sell-off, and where does it support? And then the opening reaction low as well, 179, and we've pretty much only been trading within the earnings reaction, so an inside kind of price action since earnings on Apple, and with that AI news, kind of selling it all back as well. So a little bit of a disappointment indeed. But I'm curious to know exactly what Sean said here. That 182 is definitely interesting right here. We saw the consolidation all day yesterday, kind of a strong sell-off, and pretty much consolidated on top of that 181 all day. So I will be looking at Apple if it can come down into this consolidation range today.
Just be aware, Fed's Barkin is doing a Q&A right now. Hey, it's Michael Nas. Happy Friday, sir. How are you?
Things are going fantastic.
Let's great to hear. Let's continue the conversation we started back on Tuesday and a little bit last week, I think, as well. We were talking about that post-earnings type setup idea where you get positive move. It doesn't have to be positive, but a move post-earnings, and then we let things kind of digest a little bit over a few days to find some possible trade setups.
Yeah, that's absolutely, and that's a good explanation. I talked about this last Friday, and I think for maybe next week as well, this setup might be in play. It was very popular with a lot of your people reaching out to me on Twitter and also going to trade-ideas.com and hitting the support button there so you can get this scan. But this is the basic idea, and HCA is a perfect example. I am a technical guy. I'm purely technicals. I don't read the news. I don't understand fundamental reports or whatever. It doesn't mean I can't use these changes in fundamentals to my advantage. So what I like to do is I like for a stock to have some sort of strong move, like Brendan said, off of earnings in something that's already in a nice trend. And then I wait for the day traders to have their fun. I know you guys are always interested on the day of and maybe the day after earnings. And if things start to consolidate and look to take a second move, then that's my chance to get a fundamental move using technical charts and from a swing trading point of view after everything is sorted. And this, for me, when I go through my statistics at the end of the year, is one of my favorite setups because it's simple. It just makes perfect sense. If the news was great, the stocks sometimes take a time to digest, and then they have this post-earnings drift where more and more institutions are buying into that news. The trade idea, again, is very, very simple. I know where I'm in, I know where I'm wrong, which is what I want to see. And it's a very easy thing to scan for at Trade Ideas. So I can go through 100 charts in maybe a half hour each night and get a good list like this. So I have lots of charts, so let's just get into them. HCA is great. They're in the medical care space. You can see all of these will have some sort of similarity. The line on the chart, the moving average, is a 21 EMA. It's a William O'Neill type thing, but just something I use to make sure that it's in an uptrend and it hasn't pulled back too far. If it breaks that moving average is usually when I take it off my list. But for this one, it's a more expensive price stock, so I'm looking around the 315 level or so for an entry. If it breaks that wedge to the downside, I'm no longer interested, and around 310 for a stop on that one. The next one here is SYY. So SYY is Cisco. They're a food delivery wholesaler, I guess. So they bring the food to the grocery stores. You can see it's pulling in nicely to that 21 EMA after that massive candle. I forgot, but just for people who are new, just to show you around the Trade Ideas charts a little bit, the yellow vertical line, that's the earnings day. So that's showing us when earnings took place. The chart in the bottom left-hand corner is something that we do very great, which is called picture-in-picture charts, where that's a monthly chart. So if you look at that, it's a little area chart that gives you a wide open breadth of this is what's happening with the stock. So this one in particular, you can see it's getting to the top end of its all-time high range after this earnings report. So this is one that I'm very interested for. If it breaks about $80 a share, stop around 75, give or take. But if it can get through that massive area of resistance on that monthly chart, I think there's some room to go for this one for a while. We take a look at the next one here. It's Fastenal Company, just ticker FAST. This one is holding up. It's got a horizontal level of resistance around that $70 a share mark. But again, draw you down to the monthly chart in the bottom left-hand corner. It's just, this thing has just been a monster. It's gone from $20 to $80 over the last few years in pretty much a straight line. So a very, very strong name. Great earnings report, I guess, because it had a nice gap up and a really good clean candle, and it's been consolidating nicely. So $70 a share is where I'm interested there. Next one here is one for people who, might want to not buy the strongest or look for some dips to buy. This one is Sally Beauty Holding. I guess they do wholesale for beauticians and stores and things like that. Nice smiley face. I say it all the time. I've been trained to buy smiley faces and sell frowny faces. Looks like we might be getting a smiley face here on that one. $14 a share or so is what I'm interested here. Two more to go. I told you I brought a lot of charts. So XPO is in the shipping area, and we know shipping has been really, really hot. And I want to refer you again to that monthly chart in the corner. You can see a very nice breakout here on that monthly chart, which means we're kind of at all-time highs and there's no resistance in our way. Tight resistance around the $122 a share level. 5% short float on this is decently significant. So around that $122 level, if we get a break of that, that's where I'm interested. Last but not least is SXC, which is SunCoke Energy, but they're listed in the steel plant area. So I think they're steel related. Nice monthly chart with a nice rounded bottom, so longer term chart. That shorter term chart looks very nice, around $12 or so a share. I like the ones that are consolidating very tightly like this because it just means I can put my stop very, very tight here. If I got to close below $11 a share, I'd probably be moving on this one. So whenever I can make my stop very tight like that, I'm very happy with it because, again, it gives me a really great risk reward to play off of.
Because you have a defined, you're waiting to see something happen before you actually get in. Maybe talk a little bit about the time frame you allow for these to happen. Does it get to a point where you say, this isn't happening, I'm going to move on?
For entry, for me, as long as the pattern is intact, I'm going to keep it on my list. When I enter stocks, unlike day traders who are focused here on the morning, I'm focusing entirely on the close. So during that closing period is where I want to see. So this is a perfect example with SXC, of course, the hardest one to say, but the triangle there is getting very, very tight. If that breaks to the downside, then I'm going to remove it from my list. It's no longer valid to me because that pattern is no longer existing. When it breaks out, or if it breaks out, then yes, I want to see a closing candle above that area in order to get me in, because as we know, as traders, there can be a lot of breaking intraday and fading, especially it seems in this market.
Yeah, especially when the overall market is at all-time highs. A lot of people looking to take profits in areas such as these. Great stuff. Michael Noss, CMT over at Trade Ideas. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll talk again next week.
Talk to you next week. Have a good one.
And that's Mr. Michael Noss. Thank you so much for coming through again. I think he touched on a point there right at the end. That's pretty important. And that is that you have to trade your own style. You know, if he's looking at closing candles, closing trades, things like that, where the market's going to settle down, you know, possibly taking a trade off the open and then settling it near the close. You know, exactly, nailed it right on the head. We're going to trade a little bit of different style here. You'll have a different style than me. I have a dramatically different style than Neil. Yeah, and I mean, that's the thing. You've been here 18 months, you mentioned to me.
Yeah,
Still working on a style.
Yeah. I mean, it changes up with the market. You know, the market kind of like, it changes.
So I have some advice for you on that one.
Dances.
What I was going to say is, I think that's too long to still be working on a style. And I can talk to you about that after, because what I mean by that is like, I feel like you know what you want to do. So the fact that you think that you don't have a style that you want to do actually hurts you. You have to be, no, because I'm serious.
Okay.
Because you have to be so much more confident in what you're doing and the style of trading that you're trying to do. Otherwise, you're just going to, I heard Brankos come over here and tell you to be focused.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Understand the style and the trades you want and focus on those.
Yeah.
I feel like you know your style. I don't think we need to be sitting here, but then you did say something that I think is very important as well, is that we can always adjust.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that we don't have a style of trading. You have to be able to be flexible and adjust on the go.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just like it keeps changing, and I'm like learning to adapt.
Right, exactly.
Like over time, it's like that's a skill within itself. I find it's like if you're too rigid in terms of like a viewer style. This was a thing on Twitter recently. If you follow some pretty decent traders on Twitter, edge erosion is an actual thing.
I don't even know what that is.
Edge erosion?
No,
like,
I have no idea.
like if like edges, they lose their effectiveness over time. It's an efficiency. An edge is an inefficiency, right?
Got it. Oh,
and
edge in that,
inefficiencies
yes.
get dealt with over time.
Yes,
right?
for sure.
So it's like, can you stay adaptable? Can you tweak your systems? And how well are you at managing your risk over time? And it's like, yeah, I'm a little slow. I'll admit I'm a little slow at learning, but you know, I'm on my journey. I'm confident in myself, and we'll get it done for sure.
Yeah, no, it's I completely understand all of that. I just I like that you lose your edge. Yeah, and that's why you have to adapt.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I'm the most. I always talk about how proud, and I have nothing to do with all the traders behind us. It's just, it's proud to see that there's different changes of style that's happening around here.
Oh, yeah.
I think you know what I mean.
Yes.
There are some traders that just sit and do the same thing all the time, and you know that's not going to work, and you do have to adjust your style. So, all right, there it is, man. It does take a long time to become a successful trader, and Obi's definitely putting in the work. So we got to
consistency, man. I've been working on consistency. I find that consistency is one of the hardest things to maintain, and I was like, that's one of the first things when I came on the floor. I was like, yeah, I'm trying to build consistency because I don't have it at all. And over the time that I've been here, I've learned certain skills and certain kind of processes that have made me a little bit more consistent, and still a work in progress. So.
Oh man, this is going to be a fun day, man. I mean, we're here with Obi. We're gonna have some good talk here, and
hopefully some good trades.
It should be some good trading right now. Upgrades and downgrades with Adara.
One of 4 price target increases today for NVIDIA. This one from Loop Capital initiating here with the $1,200 price target, but also getting price target increases today from Barclays, Oppenheimer, and Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo also upgrading Supermicro. Wayfair getting an upgrade from Raymond James. And last but not least, Coinbase getting an upgrade from Keefe Bruyette. For downgrades, this one's interesting. ARM downgrade from Daiwa Securities, but a price target increase from 63 to 130. So certainly an interesting one there. Roku getting a downgrade from Oppenheimer after its earnings report. Nike getting a downgrade also from Oppenheimer here. And last but not least, Carvana getting a downgrade from Raymond James, guys.
Thank you.
All right.
Got a name on there that might be your favorite?
What was it?
Roku?
Roku? No, I don't even have Roku on the sticky note today, to be honest with you. You want to talk about some Roku?
I mean, I don't know. I was watching it yesterday. You said yesterday that Roku is one of your favorite tickers. It's kind of sold off quite significantly on the earnings, and they got a downgrade as well, I guess. So a little bit of a double whammy.
No, it was definitely a favorite one to watch, and we actually talked about. We could talk about Roku now if you want to talk about. The only thing is, I know it's going to be on the rundown, so I just. So the reason why we liked Roku, and we actually talked about this on the podcast as well, is there was an opportunity for something to happen. Obviously, there was a 16% implied move. It actually is moving 17%. So it's right in line with where it is. And look where it's falling down into, right into the 200 period moving average. So I was thinking, I was thinking this could have been one of those long stories, you know, where they come out, they mention AI, they mention, better programming, but being able to possibly feed you better content based on something, some point there. Obi, it fell right into a nice support area here. The reason why I kind of shrugged it off when we mentioned it there is that it's an earnings play. And I really feel like, and we talked about this yesterday with Cisco, it would have worked perfectly. There was a couple other names yesterday that reported that had the same sort of a story. And that is that you're looking for a pre-market level here to break, because there was really no relief. We came in, we bounced off 77 here, got back to 81, but that is very dangerous times when you're trading the earnings. So now we're gonna probably break lower through this 77. So for me, you have two choices here. It's a bad report. So do we get bumped up because of the 7 or 8% short float? It's 8.5%. So the shorts win, but they could be hungrier, man. It's only down to the 200. They could let this fall. And if it does, you're gonna see some extra pressure put on right here at this $77 level. So I think Roku has a great opportunity to break through this 77 and continue lower and see a 75 print at least. On that. So we'll go through some of the numbers as it goes. I'm working on getting the sticky note out. We will definitely be doing that. We'll talk about DraftKings. We'll talk about all of this. But Roku can battle back. This is not a story, and it's because of the short float. If they want to cover this position right here, because it's down to the 200 period, this thing could bounce back 3 or 4% immediately off open with traders covering, okay? Because if you're in options right now, you're basically just around flat position. It's down 17%. The expected move was 16. So there's going to be some of premium that it was built into this trade. Right. So it's going to have to move one way or the other here off the open, and we'll have to wait to see where it does go. So I'm going to be playing the pre-market ranges on Roku. Back over to the desk.
Brutal. All right, let's get into everything else we need to know here on a Friday morning. Hope your morning is going well. Sharif's going to kick things off, as always, with a look at the market.
50.46, guys. That's where we closed off yesterday on the ES. The overnight high, 50.59. The overnight low, 50.30. Let's go ahead and say that 50.25 area as a level of support. It's been a nice recovery after that big CPI dip down into 49.50. Let's say the overnight high, 50.59. As resistance.
CPOP, little one, just popping up. I'm not seeing anything significant on that outside of the fact it's 1.3 million shares. So CPOP just popping up in front of me. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you grab that. It is absolutely free every single day, so why not? All you need is an email address. You get everything you need to know in a nice, neat package in the pre-market every single day. We'll talk about Apple here to kick things off. We touched on it a little bit briefly there if you're with us out of the gate at 8:30 this morning, but this was after it was just before the close, I guess, when it initially came out, but more details after the close yesterday. Bloomberg, the first to report that Apple is readying, or readies, past tense, their version of a Copilot / GitHub / AI tool. There's not a lot of details on this, which we were kind of alluding to, in the sense that it's very unlike Apple to not come, with a proper announcement.
Yeah, it's interesting. So we mentioned a couple of the features here. We talked about the helping you code, so very similar to Copilot. We talked about the Spotlight search on your phone, but there's some other stuff. There's the Apple Music playlist that it's going to be able to generate for you based on your preference. There's going to be side decks in the business presentation software. Some of the, the very minute details that have leaked out. We'll have to wait for the actual announcement to get the real deets.
Yeah, we were mentioning the simple fact that, when Apple does eventually come to the party, they usually, everyone knows they're there. So yeah, we'll see when we actually get the details. The first 30 minutes of the show, as always, brought to you by our friends over at Hedgeye. Today is the last day to get 66% off Hedgeye's real-time alerts. Get $100 off a 3-month trial backed by a 100% money-back guarantee. Go to hedgeye.com/TTV today.
All right. Look, I talked a little bit about Apple already. It is going to be the #1 name on the sticky note here today, and I want to buy it off this 182. Yesterday we had this nice little bottom there off of 182, and there's the move in the aftermarket. Huge move up, great announcement. Brendan and Sharif just sort of talked about some of the benefits possibly of this new AI, but it's still not. It's not the story really that we want. What we're waiting for is, I think it's in June. They've scheduled an announcement to talk about AI, hopefully bring that into iOS, and then we'll figure out what we go from there. But for me, we've already sort of talked about this, man. You're at the 200 period here on the daily for Apple. This was their earnings candle. We were all fearing the worst there come for earnings. It wasn't great. They talked about a slowdown in China. But again, the only segment that was down was iPad sales. Everything else beat or met expectations and beat them, I guess. So that was great. You had not a huge move, but you had a nice move, $10, basically up to 190 again. And then the fade happened. Apple, for some reason, doesn't want to stay near its highs. It always wants to dance around. And I just think it's because, hey, it's such a huge part of the market, and people are you would think they're not indecisive as the market just continues to tick high, and we keep on hovering near those highs. But whenever the market gets to all-time highs, it becomes a little bit jittery. And I feel like that's what's happening right now, and the biggest name's going to get jittery itself. So Apple does have those China worries. But at the same time, I'm bidding down here near 182. I like this story. It's down today, which is puzzling to me a little bit. I thought we would have been up, but you know what? Our charts, this is wrong, though. Well, no, it's because, hold on a second. It's because of the close. Yeah, so, all right. Apple's actually, all right, so it is down today. It's down 0.5%, okay? But the problem is when this news was released. This news was released right at 350. So before I talk about, because I was just thinking to myself, like, how in the heck is Apple down today this much? When I just looked at the chart and I'm like, it's not really down. It had that huge bump up. So we're down from the AI sort of euphoria. It's just, if this news happens, at 401 or something, Apple would be up today, because Apple would have ended the day in and around 182, 182.50, and then now we're at 183. So, all right. This just puts me in a better position now. So I am really excited, even much more so now, about this 182 long. Because I was thinking to myself, why are we down? But it's just because we had such a dramatic move there. Right. We popped up 2% there in the last 10 minutes. So
yeah, that was pretty wild.
Yeah, so that was pretty wild. So I like Apple. I'm going to work on this sticky note, but it's coming out.
Yeah, it's funny that they kind of release it right on the imbalances.
That screwed me up there.
Yeah, right on the imbalances. That was pretty, like, it focuses like at other places. But interestingly, very strong move off of that news. And yeah, in the pre-market, we've pretty much given it all back here. You can see that very strong move, and then right there, right back into 182s, and then holding. Look at the low as of right now in the pre-market, holding just that consolidation before that news came in. Look at the expanding volume going into that move right there as well. So it'll definitely be interesting to see what we do with this consolidation in and around 182, Sean. I definitely agree with you on that one.
All right.
All right, let's go on to Coinbase earnings after the close. Better than expected. We're right back to highs here for coin, up huge this morning. It's up here. It's tough to see, but that little tiny speck up there, that's where we are trading currently. Cathie Wood was selling yesterday, but still speaking very, very positively on Coinbase that they're quote unquote executing brilliantly currently for coin. So she sold 26.7 million worth of Coinbase shares going into the report yesterday.
And Brian Armstrong took shots yesterday at Binance and at FX or whatever, FXX, so I forgot what it's called. Basically saying, you know, when it wasn't sexy to be crossing your T's and dotting your I's and following the regulatory framework while his competitors weren't, he did and he continued, and now he's around and they're not. So he was making that point very clear to analysts. But yeah, they beat on the top and the bottom line. Their transaction revenue increased aggressively year over year, 83%, driven mostly by crypto trading. The outlook is fantastic here, Brendo, meeting the expectations and then some for profitability in the next quarter.
Yeah, meanwhile, here's Bitcoin as well, back to positive on the day so far. 0.6, not a huge move, but back above 52,000 again.
Written on here as a long. I don't think that there's really too much reason to think about anything other than that. We'll have to continue to watch Bitcoin. If Bitcoin falls down, then Coinbase will be one of those things that we'll have to continue to watch. But we absolutely nailed this call, man. We called the short here, and then we talked about this base. I wasn't as convinced on the long, but when we were talking about this before, it was like you have this base down here at 120, and when it gives it to you, and you like the long, and there it is. I mean, you are up huge. This is monstrous, man. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 days, you go from 120 to 190, right back in. Look at this U. Well, it's a U, but more like they call it the V pattern. All the way back in, and now looking and taking out this most recent high. So for me, it's giddy up, man. I have it written on here that we want to go long on a 192 break. What the hell just happened to me here? Oh, okay, we just got long on Tesla. Okay, that's interesting. Maybe we'll be talking about... We don't have Tesla on there. Okay, so we'll be talking about Tesla. I'll talk about it after, but I'm long Tesla. So I like Coinbase breaking through this 192. You can see it's been the top here. Let's just see if it hits it. I feel like we could hammer that through. Let me just double check what the Coinbase short float is. I just don't want to go short. So it's 10%. So I like the long here. I think there could be some, you know, sort of irrational buying here off the open, like just either shorts that have to cover or just great stock, and yeah, let's go. I mean, I feel like 31% increase there, or 31% of the revenues are in the Bitcoin buying there. They talked about the ETFs and how strong sort of that release has been, and now it looks like Coinbase is going to get not only the customer, because this is what I was thinking about with Coinbase also, is like we always say, why bother to hold your crypto on an exchange? And I actually asked Sam Bankman-Fried that himself, you know. But Tesla, by the way, is now 40 cents in the money. The thing is like Coinbase has all of the coins. I mean, not all of them, but the majority of the coins.
Yeah.
So not only if you're bullish on Bitcoin, but if you're bullish in the crypto space, there's not too many things that you could buy that are going to get you the love from a Solana or a Cardano, or, you know, if you want Ethereum, you can buy ETHE, and you're going to be able to buy more ETFs. If you want Bitcoin, you can buy any of those 13. So maybe you don't go to Coinbase for that, but you are going to go to Coinbase if and when you want to buy other crypto assets.
Right.
So I feel like that Coinbase for me, and we could talk about Robinhood as well. Robinhood had an increase in their crypto buying, which helped spark their revenue. So I feel that crypto is not just a Bitcoin story anymore. There's going to be, and it never really has been, Bitcoin is the big guy, and that's what I feel like everybody, if you're going to own crypto, you should own some of the two, you know, either Ether or Bitcoin. But if you're going to buy other names, you got to go over to an exchange. Yeah. And if Coinbase is going to be the trusted exchange, then it is what it is. By the way, we're almost $1 now in the money on Tesla. So I just,
off the 200.
Fortunately, I'm talking too much, but I do want to get this sticky note out. So Take it away, Obi. What say you on Coinbase, my
Yeah,
guy?
definitely very strong action off of the earnings, pushing, what do I have down here? 52-week highs right there. So pushing through 52-week highs, a little bit of significance there. I think this 184, you can see that in the after hours and in the pre-market, we kind of held this 184 quite well. And then you have this kind of consolidation low at 180s as well. So I'm going to be looking for if this bid is real, if this bid is strong, and it does do a pullback, I'll be looking for that bid to catch at some point in between this action here. It is quite wide, 164 to 184, but we have some references to go off of, some previous levels, and I think definitely I do have it on watch. It is one of my top names on the day, pushing 52-week highs. So yeah, I think that continuation. If we do get past that 193, which is a little bit of a double top high right now, earnings reaction high, and this morning's pre-market high, and we're building up into it. I think we're poised for a potential look at 200 if the action can hold up. But yeah, those if-then statements have to be checked off before we can even get to that 200. So I'll definitely be having it on watch today.
And just to go back on your point, 52-week high 187.39. So well above that. So if you do want to go long, you could use 187 possibly as a bottom. We'll have a look at that. Thanks for bringing that up, Obi. All right, over the desk.
All right, let's talk about Roku here. I brought up Nike there. CNBC was talking about this. They're cutting 1,600 jobs, Nike was. We did get a little bit of an uptick there as CNBC was talking about it. But anyway, let's go on to Roku earnings as well from them. I mean, this is mentioning Oppenheimer, but there was probably 4 or 5 negative notes as well to go along with this report.
Yeah, Brendo, they reported a bigger fourth quarter loss than expected as they grapple with intense competition and lower customer spending. The earnings came in a little lighter than expected. It was a loss, obviously, but it was a bigger loss than what the street was looking for. Look, revenue grew 13.5% year over year on the quarter, but they fell a little bit short, or they actually beat what analysts were looking for. It was the guide here that was a bit of a problem. They're guiding about 834. The street was looking for 850 million in the next quarter.
Again, a little tough to see on that chart this morning, but we're way down here. After earnings, guys.
All right, I mean, we already sort of talked about Roku a little bit there. Yeah, I didn't really even analyze the report as much as we should have. That's why you're going to go over and look at the watch list. As far as I'm concerned, man, I mean, this is way down. And it just, you're going to need to hold this 77. I don't really, I mean, we're already $1 in the money on Tesla. This is what I talked about when you're trying to trade the style that you trade. We had our best day, I think, of the year yesterday. We talked about that, and that was trading Amazon, you know, and then Uber, and then Tesla. So we'll still trade Roku, but I think you want to watch out for this 77 break. It's awesome that we have these levels here, like the 200 period moving average. I think that could be the reason for this name to hold. Roku is at 11% short, or what did I say, 8.5% short. So this name could go. The shorts have won here today. For me, it's quite simple. It's either a 77 hold or a 77 breakdown. We'll see that off the open. If we miss it and Roku decides to go the complete other way, doesn't even think about going down here, then you play this break, in my opinion, and that is 80, 79.50. I actually think we should go long 79.50. What about if we went long 80? This is actually not a bad trade. Go long 80 using something like a 79, 79.50 as your risk spot. I think that there could be something there for Roku. But you know what, guys? Obi?
Yes, sir.
There's a very illustrious club that I want you to join today. Tesla's already here. So we've already got the dollar winner on Tesla right now. We're pretty happy with it. But you think you can get $1 on Roku? What do you like today on Roku?
I'll try. We'll see. I'll take whatever the market will give me. Let's say that.
I like that a lot.
So 79, I do like that 79. I do have kind of in my notes here, Roku 79, bit of an interesting place to watch the price action, watch the tape at. Definitely interesting. We're trading below that right now. Earnings reaction low being at 76.25. So it is SSR. It's sold off quite significantly, a little over. I think, what did you say, about 16, 18%? Something like that, or
Roku's 8.5.
Roku's 8.5%.
It's not as much as you think. Yeah.
Okay, It's down about 17% off of the close.
Oh, sorry, what were you asking me?
ROKU down from the close. 17%. That's.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, the expected move was 16. I thought you were asking the short float.
Yeah. Okay. No.
My bad.
Sorry.
You're right. Yep.
So it is quite down on the day, and I'll be watching for a potential rebid, or if we continue back down to the downside and we continue this flush back in, I think we have some levels to watch the tape at as well. So ROKU definitely on watch today.
All right, we'll talk some semiconductors here. Back to the upside we go again. That's funny. It was Loop Capital that initiated coverage on NVIDIA, so I just typed in Loop on the chart. Let's look at NVIDIA. Yeah, $1,200 we are at now. I mean, these numbers don't mean anything at this point. It's more just a headline, I think, for any analyst that wants to get one, depending on where we are trading on any individual day. What was it, 740, I guess, by the time everything was said and done yesterday for NVIDIA. But I mean, SMCI right there as well, which is hilarious.
And AMAT too, Brendo. AMAT, Applied Materials, reporting yesterday after the bell, decidedly up on the day, just a little bit short of 10% up. Beat on revenue, beat on profits. Guide came in fantastic. Look at this revenue, 6.71 billion versus the 6.48 billion the street was looking for. Profit came in aggressive as well, well over 2 billion. The street was looking for 1 3/4. So I'll have to see how this one does. Fantastic look today for AMAT.
They all just continue to march higher here. So depending on where you're looking, I just brought up SMH. You can look at SOX as well if you want to just have a look at an ETF. I saw a few people mentioning that yesterday. This thing was pretty flat and choppy yesterday, but trying to find the one that's going to rip 20% is, most of the time they're already there, but might be a decent idea, guys.
All right.
About ARM.
All right, I'll let you load up ARM a little bit there, and then so Obi's going to talk a little bit about ARM because he's done really well on it recently. I don't have anything on my sticky note today, which is now out, regarding chip names. So I mean, I just look at SMCI right now, up 6.1%. The one thing that I did tweet out earlier about SMCI, and that is, where is it? It's right here. I thought this was, no, that's NVIDIA price target. It's right here. SMCI, if you think about what this was saying, SMCI's RSI on the daily is at 97. The last time we had a name that was anywhere like that was with GME. Right there. So this name is getting completely extended right now. And I was talking with Danielle Shea on the Market Recap show yesterday, and I was just like, you got to find me some kind of a put here that I need to be acquiring, because this name's going to fall back in. I don't really know when, but next Wednesday is something called NVIDIA. They're going to be coming out with their earnings. They blew out the door a couple times and went to the downside. So let's just see what's happening here with SMCI. Like, RSI's up at 99. The last time we saw stock do that was GameStop. Obviously, there's going to be a little bit difference there, but is there really? I mean, obviously, this is a profitable company and they're in the right space, but this seems to be getting a little bit too carried away with SMCI. But again, another 6%. I said the same thing earlier to, I think it was, maybe it was Sharif, Adaram, you. It's just like selling, and we talked about this on Monday. I said, get ready for NVIDIA to literally have an upgrade all week. And I think today we had 4 or 5 of them to match an upgrade that happened every single day this week. So ahead of earnings and at highs right now, what do we think about NVIDIA at 750? I mean, I feel like if there's some crazy, emphatic exuberance today in this market, which we could get another bounce. I mean, the PPI, we're off the lows there. Can NVIDIA go $11? I mean, it could go $11 in the first couple minutes. Yeah. So for me, I'll take a shot short in and around that 750 on NVIDIA. I mean, I can't come to myself of buying these names. all the way up here this high. AMD is a very interesting level. We talked about that yesterday. We destroyed Micron. I mean, Micron, how good was that at the end of the day yesterday? And then we talked about this 178 level there for AMD that was trying to hold only before it wound up breaking right at the end. But this is 178. So if you level up on a positive day, you get 179. And then you get this top here at 180. So again, if AMD can make a little march to 180, I think you could short that in front of 181. But you have to want to short today. I mean, we have them mixed. I don't have a great feeling today like we did the last couple days on direction of market. So we'll stay long Tesla. We'll look for dip buys in Apple. And then the chip names, let's let them settle. And then if we get that feeling that they've topped out, man, we will bring out the Thor hammer and see what happens here once we get a little more confident on a direction.
Yeah, chips definitely a lot of those names are in play with especially SMCI, right? We've seen what it's been doing. We've seen what it did yesterday. Definitely on watch by a lot of people today as it did break that 1,000 mark. Just going into the close, and we are gapping up, and we're pushing into that 1100 area. So yeah, like Sean said, I can talk a little bit about ARM there. ARM has been running up since its earnings right there last Thursday, and then this is the second week right here. And we've been holding some of those levels, so it's been looking pretty decent here, holding above those earnings reaction levels with the rest of the chip names running as well. So I'll definitely be watching it going into a long weekend. I think Sean made a good comment there. A little bit of indecisiveness, not really knowing where things might be going. We sold off on the PPI as well, and yeah, some of these names, a lot of just I was doing my scans last night, and a lot of just random names caught a strong bid all day, right from the open right into the close, and yeah, going into the long weekend, it should be interesting to see what some of these chip names do. Do we cool off? Do we continue? I have no idea, but I'm going to be waiting for Mother Market to give me an answer.
All right, here's DraftKings trying very, very hard at this point to get back to positive. 0.4 left over to go. I mentioned when we got that PPI number at 8:30 this morning that typically these moves in the market on an economic number just get bought right back up. The market not looking great at this point, though, trying to roll over even. DraftKings a little bit of relative strength, dare we even say. Back to $44, got through 44, trying to hold above it now after earnings from them. There was a number of analyst moves on this as well, mostly positive across the board, even with the negative report.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you grow your revenue 44% year over year, despite the fact that they posted quarterly results that missed Wall Street's estimates on the top and bottom line. Earnings also came in a little bit better than expected, a $44.5 million loss. Compare that to last year when they lost about almost $250 million, Brendo, and they continued to expand the jurisdictions in which they're available. 24 states now total. They added Maine and Vermont to that list, so we'll see how they do.
We're trying to get back to basically break even here. 0.8 right now for the NASDAQ, S&P rolling over a little bit as well. But yeah, we'll touch on DraftKings here coming up in a second. It's been a great week on the midday show. Make sure you stick around for 11 o'clock. What's coming up today?
Today, guys, we are talking about developing a trading strategy within the context of accumulation and distribution, which is this week's topics. And make sure to join us next week when we talk about trading terminology. We
get almost on a daily basis people asking about some of the terms that we use on the show, some of the specific to day trading. A lot of new people specifically to the market might, not have heard some of the things that words that we use. So great topic coming up next week as well. Trading terminology, all will be explained. We also have a huge announcement coming up this afternoon at 2 o'clock. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Huge announcement, 2 o'clock.
Yeah, nice. All right. Yeah, I'm curious to know what that announcement will be. And yeah, definitely a lot of trading technical words like quadunk and a lot of other ones. No, I'm just joking. Definitely tune into that midday show to get your fix of how to trade. We do that every day around 11 to 2 p.m. right there with Sharif and Adara. But yeah, not Roku, DraftKings, definitely kind of an interesting name today. pretty much inside. It's a reaction off of earnings. Nothing too crazy there. They did kind of disappoint on their earnings and their revenue. So nothing too crazy there. Pretty much sideways. I'm definitely sure that. Eyes can be on other names today, definitely more in play than this one, but we'll see what it does off the open, if it does anything significant. It has been in a bit of a run-up for the past few weeks going into earnings, but yeah, I like that. Look at that earnings high right there, 45.74. Interesting. The low quite extended to the downside there, 39, and we've reclaimed pretty much all of that action and coming into the close right here. What was yesterday's close? Let's take a quick look right there at that last candle close, 44.45. So it would seem in and around there, 44.45. We are kind of holding that as of right now above VWAP in the pre-market. So I'll be curious to know what we do with that closing price off the open. But like I said, I have my eyes on a few other names that I think are a little bit more in play. What say you on DraftKings?
Yeah, so DraftKings, again, we talked about this with Danielle Shea yesterday on the show, and she had a bullish bet on this, but it's not down that much. And I just feel like today we had an expected, I mean, what wasn't the expected move? It's 9.25 right now, so we'll have to get over to this. But where was the expected move here on DraftKings? There it was right there. Yeah, so that's 11.5%. Last time was 16.5. So you're coming in today with a real kind of sour move if you're in the options market, with not much really going through here. I got to move this over a little bit there so we can. That's Bitcoin down there. So yeah, for me, it's not. I'm not super excited about this name, to be honest with you. It's kind of just doesn't really understand what it wants to do. Like I always hear Dara say, it needs to make up its mind or something like that. So we'll find out what's going on with DraftKings. So right now, it's going to be a no trade for me on that one. But I don't know. It's not super exciting. I mean, I love the name. I think that there can be more than one available in the space, but they spend so much on customer acquisition that it's nice to see them holding some of these bids. They had a good Super Bowl, apparently, most watched event. I like DraftKings, and I think you can own it. You guys have heard me say this, man. Like, I've really liked Palantir, for various reasons. And I kind of think like DraftKings is not similar to Palantir, but similar in the way that, there's FanDuel, there's DraftKings, and I really think it's almost like a Coinbase situation as well, where they have a lot of accounts. And if they can start to generate, they bought that jackpot for half of what their cash position was, which is when we were down here yesterday and we actually had this live, we mentioned that I was like, what? They're spending half of their cash? I said, that's probably why they're down, but their numbers were actually decent. So that brought it right back up to the upside. So let's see if if people are going to be at home, and I listen to podcasts and all this kind of stuff, there's a lot of gambling being done. And even my wife, she turned over to me and was like, oh, I made $150 on the Super Bowl. I'm like, huh? And it's like, it's creating more action, more excitement. And yeah, I like the space. And I think you can buy DraftKings, like honestly, right here. You could buy it probably against this 38 level. It's an earnings day, so let's watch out for the trade. For me, I feel like there's more interesting names, so let's see what happens here heading into the open.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with you on that one. We've got a few more minutes till the open there. So I am doing some quick scanning there just to see how everything is opening up. Again, I'm going to be as patient as possible, trying to keep my focus, and just wait for the setups to come in and wait for confirmations, wait for Confluence to stack, and then maybe take some fills. Let's see what we have in store today. Got my plan laid out. Sean's got a sticky note out. I saw him writing it down and reviewing a little bit earlier. So we are good to go. Yeah, I mean we're kind of born ready, but we'll see what happens here today. So we've already got a lot of stuff on mind. You can see, look what just happened to DraftKings, by the way. I guess they were waiting for us to say that we liked it, and we didn't say that. So yeah, do what Neil's saying there, subscribe. You could see nice little move to the downside there, 41.30. So I don't know, it's trying to take out day's low right now, like a pretty dramatic move here with only a minute left to go right now. So we're gonna have to watch out with DraftKings.
where we go on that one. I do want to buy some Apple down here at 182. It doesn't look like we're going to get to 182 or anything like that, but if we do, this is a name that we want to buy for sure. And we may have to just buy this one. Actually, you know what? Let's start the bidding here at 183 just to get in. And then we will put another bid down here for much more shares, many more shares down at 182. But yeah, now it looks like Apple wants to, I mean, we have this stupid wick here. I got to probably get rid of that. But here we go again for Apple. So let's just wait to see what hits right off the open. The market's trying to figure out what it wants to do. And we are getting ready to go here. Give it a little bit of space today, guys. I don't think we need to be rushing into anything. And yeah, I can see Amazon's going down, Renata, but unfortunately, it's on the sticky note. It's a play that we like, but just not in it yet. We'll have to wait to see what happens there. 2 and 1. And there we go. The market is now open, Obi. So we'll see what happens here again. Feels like a Morgan here, but I'm sure there are live traders behind us. All right, here we go. 183 and change coming through right now. So Brankos was actually on the stream the other day. If you are interested, we'll drop his email. We can put that at the bottom there, looking to hire more traders around here. And I feel like that's one of the, you know, the training that everybody gets here, Obi. I mean, we'll talk about that as we go, but definitely worth the shot if you guys are looking for a prop floor. Go find Real Trading and look for Toronto office. So, okay, here we go. So Apple's just going up. So that name's starting to go. Well, watch out for Coinbase. Coinbase not taking out 192, but we'll wait to see if that does come through. So right now, Coinbase and Apple on my mind. And by the way, Tesla is coming right into 2 bills pretty quickly right now. Let's buy a little bit of this dip and see if it does hold. We're going to wait for 198 to break to be wrong here on Sir Tesla. Let's go, Mr. Musk. You need to get that 25%. You got 21, so get in there and start to buy this up. And if we can, maybe we will get a call from Miss Wood, and we'll figure out exactly what she's up to again here today. But here we go. We are now long in the 200s, which is what we wanted. So a little bit early because of that early take that we had, but there it is, dropping right back in. Let's see if Tesla is the one for us today. Watch out for one. I mean, I just want to watch out for 198. I feel like that was sort of where we started yesterday, and let's see if it can hold there today. So we're long Tesla now, and let's see what happens. First take, I think we could probably take something out for $1 down here at 201.60. So I'm going to put it there, but it doesn't look like it's trying to get up that high right now. So Tesla, the only position that I'm in right now. What say you, Obi?
Yeah, I'm just patiently waiting. Yeah, Sharif with the food right off the open. Damn, dude. I had a pretty light breakfast, and that smells awesome. So thanks for that. A little bit of a hunger to get that I guess hunger going. A little bit of a nice aroma to get that
Coinbase
hunger
falling.
going. Coinbase is falling indeed off of that 193.
So where do you have
now.
your bids? Like what are you looking for here, Obi?
I'm looking for some of the levels.
Are we looking at
levels to
ARM?
come in? I'm watching ARM as well. I like the ARM. I'm watching Coinbase as well. Yeah, let's wait for some price action to kind of form and wait for potential signs of people being offside. That's what I'm kind of waiting for there. Nothing too crazy. I do have plans in. I do have levels that I would like to buy and sell at if we do specific things there. But yeah, I think there's again, being a long weekend and it being kind of what do you call a pretty wild market. You can see that the NQs are selling back down. We were kind of pushing aggressively below that 18 thou again off of that PPI in the morning. There goes ARM holding that 130. That's definitely interesting. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna be a little patient there. Softy selling off as well. Spider still kind of orbiting around 500. Nothing too crazy. But Apple still not really going anywhere. I had Apple on watch as well. Again with the AI news, I was waiting for Apple to come out with AI news for months on end. I'm like, when are these guys gonna come out with something? Everybody else has reported or had some news or had some AI products already come out, and we've seen some decent moves in the market due to that. But the market leader, Apple, hadn't really come out with something, but we got a little bit of a catalyst last night. And we've sold off of all of that action. That's definitely a little interesting to me. But yeah, I think I want to stay a little bit patient to see what some of this price action has in store for us. Amazon coming back into 168 as well.
Amazon, we
Google
wanted that
L
short.
143, interesting. But yeah, that 183 on Apple held quite nicely there, Sean. So I know you were looking at that 182. We didn't really get down there. We got to 182 halves-ish in the pre-market, and we're just bidding right up off of the open. So that's pretty. That's an interesting look. There goes coin right back up to 190. So maybe we're gonna get that high break now. I have no idea, but we shall see.
Wasn't coin just at
I'm gonna stay as
185?
patient. Yeah, it was at 184.
Oh, I
now
was
we're
looking
trading
at that down
190s.
there.
So if you had the
Set 'em
dip
on
buy, that was
Tesla.
pretty aggressive rebid right back towards those highs. Nice little wash of the morning price there. A little bit of a competitive price action there if you're looking for those scalps, as it washes about 5 to 6 points right off the open, and then it kind of does its move. So you know what? I'm happy. I'm being a little bit patient here. If the move is going to be there, I think again, I've found a little bit. I find that I do a little bit better when I'm more patient for the move, and as Neil has said many times over, and I kind of hold this statement kind of close to my trading now, is just you have to miss the trade to make the trade. You have to be willing to miss the trade to make the trade, and that's perfectly fine. Again, being a Friday, I'm not really expecting too much, but if something falls into my lap, I'm more than willing to take it today. So
I can't
that's what I
believe
got.
Amazon's at session lows, dude.
Oh, yeah.
And we had nailed that one, and we don't have it, but we're happy to have a 30-cent hit win. 40 cents here on Apple. So we did play that one, and we like it. It's Apple. It's going to the long side, and there goes Tesla again. It went right down to that 198 level, and we were waiting for more shares down in and around. My bid was at 198.20, and it didn't hit. So right now we're rocking pretty well to the upside. Was that a call for Adara? Then let's go.
Nano X Imaging pulling back a little bit here, but huge volume spike right off the open for this one. This would be a day 2 move on Wednesday after the close. NVDA reported just under 60,000 share stake in the company. Also worth noting for this one, float of about 52.4 million shares. 12.7% of that is going to be a short float, so keep an eye on NNOX, guys.
I will have to ask Neil about that, because I have no idea what willing to miss the trade to make the trade means. Because to me, if you miss the trade,
No, it's like it's a little more like, okay, so you're letting. I've heard other kind of
there goes Apple.
traders say this as well. You let others pay for information, and then when that information becomes it becomes stronger, then you can kind of take that. And sure, you might miss out on a point or two of the move because of that, but now that it's actually there, you can be confident in taking the trade. But sure, you missed out on a little bit of the initial.
Yeah, patience is.
I think that's what it kind of goes for.
I mean, right now we're gonna have $1 pretty much in Apple. I mean, here we go, man. There it is. We talked about wanting to buy the 183s. Enough is enough. Down to VWAP, back to the upside. Let's go, Apple, man. Let's just freaking go. I'm honestly, we're very, very confident in what we do here, and I think that's. If hopefully you could tell that, man. I mean, yesterday we had our biggest day. The day before that we went 4 for 4. Yesterday I think we went 4 for 5, something like that. I mean, and then right now, just given to you off the sticky note is Apple. That's $1 winner, right? Given to you right now is Tesla. We're only in 2 positions right now. And they're both pretty juicy, but we need to get some more out of Tesla. I was sitting right there at $20.50. Of course, it goes to $20.30 right there and stops. $200.30. There we go. We'll take another piece out there, I believe. Yes. So there it goes, man. I mean, we were in it a little bit early as this market fell pretty aggressively there off the jump. This could still be wrong, but like I said, man, we are going to sit here and try the best we can to get some of these shares in. So we like these positions. We're long now on Apple. We're long now on Tesla. Let's go back over and have another look at some more sticky note names. There's 192 right here, right now for Coinbase. This is we had suggested this as a play. However, watch this go, and then I'm gonna look back at just. This will be me, right? This will probably be at 198. And I'll be like, why didn't I take 192? Well, for me, we just tested too low there. Like, I don't know. that was nice. It always looks good to try to get that. We just got Uber actually back in right now. So Tesla's flying. Apple's $1 in the money. Uber's 70 cents in the, Tesla's 70 cents in the money. Uber right now, brand new position. So we'll have to look at that a little bit. For Uber long, Uber just came in. This has been a monster trade for me the last little while. You guys would know that. But we'll have to see if it wants to hold these levels right now. Let's take a piece out at 74 for like 15 cents. Maybe we're wrong here on Uber right now, but let's just, there it goes. Let's see if it goes to the high side. We're long at 79.60. So what do we have on, you might be asking right now? 70 cents in the money on Tesla. We just took $1.50. We just took 15 cents there on Uber, and we have Apple with $1. So right now we're 3 for 3, and I got to pay attention to this. So this is what I'm doing, and I hope that you guys are having just as much success on your trading. I'm taking another damn piece out right now. No Neil, no problem. We'll just spin that. Well, never is, but there it is. It's a nice move back up to the upside. It's $1 in the money on Apple, $1 in the money on Tesla, 20 cents in the money on Uber, and it's Adara.
Lucid getting a nice spike to the upside here. Yesterday, after market close, it was announced that the board of the company has approved $6 million cash bonus for the CEO of the company. Also worth noting here, float of about 2.26 billion shares. Just under 12% of that is going to be short float, so not a significant short float there. LCID, strong volume up 7%, guys.
About taking advice from people, that's all. All right, here we go. Tesla right now, $1 plus. Obi, I'm going to give it to you, man. I mean, my day is fine.
Yeah.
But not just my day. I mean, the day is just getting started. But I mean,
we're just getting
the positions that I have, I don't want to just keep talking about my positions. I want to give you a chance. So what are you saying, Obi?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, I'm still staying a little observant. I just told you that, that 183 on Apple was quite nice. We accelerated quite heavily off of that. I was watching ARM as well, the way we kind of aggressively bid the 129, 130, 131, 132 into 135, and then we're pulling right back in. So that's definitely very strong there. Waiting for it to kind of settle down to see what it can do. Google kind of pulling back down. I saw somebody in the chat saying long on Amazon. I like that 167 level, and we kind of dipped right back into that 167 and caught a little bit of a bid on the 15-minute right there. But the NQ and the ES quite heavy to the downside here. So some of these names like Apple not really following in step. Kind of makes sense. It's doing its own thing. But Softy, Alpha, Amazon, and maybe not so much NVIDIA, but those three names definitely kind of pulling back in with some of these futures here. And Coin still kind of holding near some of these highs, 192, kind of struggling to push back up. That 185 dip by, oh boy, if you had that was definitely a move. That was definitely a move to be had if you had the what do you call it, the a little bit of it gapped up, kind of came right back into that 185, and now we are pushing right back up. So let's see how far that can go. But you know what? Like I said, I'm gonna be a little bit more patient. You said I gotta find my style. When I'm up here, I feel like I can't execute on some of the styles that I do like trading with back at my desk. So I do have to change up the play style a little bit based on the scenario that I've been given. So I think being a little bit more patient when you have a lot of things to do and a little bit distracted definitely can be helpful. And I saw somebody in the chat, they were like, patience, P-A-Y, Shins, and I was like, yes, definitely, for sure. That is a key thing. But yeah, 135, not really getting through there on the ARM just yet. So I am kind of patiently watching for that. That has been kind of the high over the past few days. You can see here, I'm just going to pull it up on the chart here. And yeah, feel free to let me know what you guys are trading there. There goes 193 on Coin as well.
193? So, oh my God.
Yeah, 193 pushing right now. That was in and around that pre-market high. So we are getting a little bit of continuation right there. You can see on the Coinbase, it is quite strong there as well. But yeah, take a look at this ARM. You can see that, yes, what was it, Wednesday, can't really get too far, can't really get past 135. Tuesday as well, can't really get past, goes to 137 and some change, but comes right back in. Yesterday as well, can't really get past that 135. And today, a little bit of the same story. You push up into that 135 and you get a little bit of that selling pressure coming right back in. So I will be watching that kind of kind of action. Again, I'm not expecting too much. It is a Friday, right before the long weekend. Somebody in the chat saying, "Obi will be still watching when Amazon hits 200." All right, buddy. It's at 168 right now. I'm patiently waiting. But yeah, that 175 definitely an interesting area. We saw the wick off that happened off of that 175 just a few days ago as well. So yeah, I think if we break that 175, we could be poised for a potential 200 test if we're gonna be doing that. We can see that how Meta did a full-on V-shaped recovery from its sell-off. If you guys pull up like the weekly or the monthly, and the Amazon's kind of in step with some of that as well. And I'm hearing that Sean is in a little bit of a Dollar Club winner. What's going on there?
I tried. You know, I tried to get you to be a member, Obi.
I would
right now, $4.
Sometimes I like to show up a little late to the party.
Yeah, I noticed. $4 in the money right there. No. We're just playing around. But there it goes. It's a nice move for Tesla. Congratulations on all of that. I mean, and also you nailed it there with Coinbase, man. I mean, nice move up there, huge move down. Now we're trying to base out. We wanted to look at this level here of 191, but Coinbase continues to be a little bit of a tricky trade in my opinion anyways. But this 191 is looking like a decent support level. So we can watch out for that. But yeah, there it is. It's a nice pullback in now. So we've already taken a piece out there. We've done this. It's been a pretty good day there for Tesla. But Uber, we're able to get out there on the high side, and now it's just coming back in a little bit. So let's watch out for Uber possibly breaking lower here. We wrote down 79.50, which is what it's at right now, and looks like it wants to go lower. I'm going to punch out of this one in and around 79.40 if we do continue to go lower. So let's go see what Adair is up to.
Applied Optoelectronics, AAOI getting a nice boost here and really strong volume. Not seeing any news stories on this, but pretty significant short float here, 22% short float, 34 million share float in total. So keep an eye out on AAOI up 10% right now.
All right, AAOI. We will look at all that. I mean, for right now, for me, I haven't really been looking too much at the chat. I've got some of these positions on. Apple's come right back in again, so we'll have to see what this one wants to do. Uber is a cup of coffee. It just went to the downside. So this one didn't really hold for us today. Obviously going long at 60 and getting some out here at 70s and then getting some more out here in the 80s was good. But yeah, for right now, we're going to have to see as Uber looks like it wants to continue to head to the downside. Nice hold there on Tesla. Nice hold as we held that 202. So now let's see. I don't have any offers on the upside here. I think Tesla can really go. I mean, it got a late day push yesterday. Let's see if it wants to go here today. So that, of course, is Tesla. So we'll see where that's going now. But after that, yeah, not much happening on this side. The other thing I want to look at quickly was DraftKings, because again, another name that's reported. And look at that, man. We said that we liked the stock, but not a huge move for earnings today for DraftKings. It was more fun last night. And you are just now, see, there's the trade again, breaking that pre-market high of 44.50. So that looks like to be the trade there, and it looks like it was missed. But DraftKings right there was a good one. And then let's go back and check on ROKU. This was a name that we were looking at, right? So there's the 77 break early. It does go down to 76. We mentioned possibly 75. But see, now you're getting the VWAP hold. So now, as Obi's mentioned a couple times there, waiting for something to develop. Maybe we're getting that right here, Obi, with ROKU giving us sort of a shelf here around, well, I mean, it'll be the top shelf at and around 77.50. So if you're short this name, that would be an area to look at, in my opinion. I'm still trying to find Apple, and apparently Microsoft is at lows as well. I mean, look at this market really starting to pull back in. We understand why potentially this is the case here for Microsoft, as we talked a little bit about Copilot and the reason why I'm long Apple, but that name's starting to go. All right, so we only have, we have about 40% or so of this Tesla trade still on. So it is pulling back into VWAP. Definitely something worth a look here on Tesla.
Yeah, so I'm just I took a quick push into ARM there. Nothing too crazy, just kind of feeling it out a little bit right there. But the market kind of coming into that 17,880-ish level here. So Yeah, so I think we sold off that 17.9. That was pretty aggressive as well. Just got to pull this in so I can get a good look at it. All right, cool. So yeah, we're kind of holding above this 130 as of right now a little bit. Let's see where we can go from here. Maybe further down. I have no idea, but it hasn't really shown anything too significant just yet. But yeah, the market selling off quite aggressively, I do have kind of eyes on some of these other names. Let's see if Amazon can get right back down to that 167. I do like that 183 on Apple is definitely interesting as well. And yeah, some of these earnings names, DraftKings definitely going for it right there, very strong off the open. Got a little dip off of that 42, it would seem. Coinbase coming right back down. That's an aggressive move down. And there I get stopped out once again right on top of that 130 on the arm. So yeah, I'll give it some more time there. It's not really, it is kind of chopping up a little bit wider than I'd like it right now. So that's perfectly fine. Like I said, I'm willing to pay up a little bit to kind of feel it out here in the 130s just to see if what I'm looking for is really there, right? So yeah, with the market coming down right here, I do want to stay a little bit more nimble on the long side as Coinbase flushes hard. Oh boy, look at that 193 failure to follow through. That lick grab, 193 highs comes right back into that 185. What a wash. What's the opening price on this thing? 129. Oh, no, that's not. That's ARM. What's the opening price on this thing? 189.05. Wow, interesting. So yeah, I think I'll stay a little bit more patient there. Some of these day two names catching a bit of a bounce by some. I mean, the one I'm looking at here, Deere. I know you were talking about Deere yesterday. They sold off quite heavily yesterday, and we're kind of reclaiming some of those levels right now. There goes ARM breaking that 130. So hands off. It seems like we're going to be doing a little bit more selling right now. So I do want to stay away from that as of right now. For the long side, right? So the short off the 135 again was quite nice. It keeps on coming in real nice over and over again, paying those shorts off over and over again. That's very interesting to me. But we can't really break below that 120 level either. So it's definitely a nice build-up on there. So again, gonna stay patient, watch what it does with some of those levels. Nothing really that I had
Amazon
on watch is really coming into those levels. So Apple, yeah, that 183 could be interesting. Softy's just selling off, continues to sell off. So maybe I'll be a little bit more patient to watch Softy there. What are you up to, Sean?
Freaking hammering Amazon again, dude. We are now, yeah, of course, yeah, oh yeah, to the short side, man. If Mr. Bezos is selling, then yeah, I'll sell as well. So it breaks VWAP to the downside. Now let's go. My stop on this is just 168.50. So if it goes, it goes. We hit this with a lot of shares again, and for right now, it's starting to go to the downside. So let's see what we can get here from Amazon. Let's see if we can hold it. I was very uncertain of this market movement, so I started to scalp out. I'm already out of about 40% of this play for it's at 20 cents now, but we're going to wait to see where we can go. Meanwhile, all right, let's just continue to go downside. I mean, we got to put something here for Amazon, 167.90 or so. Okay, here, there's a break. There's a break. Oh yeah, there's a break. All right, so yeah, we in this now, baby. All right, Amazon's starting to go. So this is going to be, again, hopefully, Mr. Khalid.
Another one.
And then we had this yesterday, dude, and it was good. So there it goes right now, back into the downside. We're at the highest spot we've been at all day, despite Tesla making a move down, despite Apple making a move down. I'm canceling my Apple 183 bid. It can wait. We are riding and dying right now with these trades. Amazon, get the hell down. Bang! This is a big one for me, Obi. We've got this one in right now. We are cruising with Amazon. Let's go, AMZN. We wanted this one. This is a Sticky No Nation name, and this is what we're doing today. Yes, sir. This is a good trade for us, man. It's Amazon, and it's another downside move. Man, do I like this stock, Obi. Now I don't feel so bad when I go home and there's like 10 deliveries on my porch. All right, let's go. I had to find some levels for Tesla, but Amazon, it can go directly, you know where. We only have 40% now on it because it kind of hit our targets. I was looking at 167.80 there because we sort of bounced in and around that level. Obviously, if we whoosh down lower than that, then we're going to cash out hopefully soon on this play. Tesla's the one that has my nervous Nancy right now, so we're going to have to wait to see. I will take a 198 long on Tesla, but that one could be in trouble if and when that comes through. So watch out for Tesla down here in much closer to 198 before we have to worry about this. But if the market tanks, I have significantly more shares in Amazon. Let me put it that way. So, all right, Obi, go tell me what you're looking at, my guy.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. The market is in quite an aggressive quadrunk right now to the downside. That is very strong there. But yeah. Coin coming right back in. ARM as well, right back into 128, 127s right here. Some of this pre-market consolidation lows right there. So I do want to keep an eye on that. I did get a little bit long on Softy, but with this market looking as heavy as it is, that might not be too forgiving there. So I'll be patient. I'll be patient and kind of let that work itself out. And yeah, ARM is looking very heavy here. 17.8, Sean. Oh boy,
what
are we slamming?
Someone mentioned 17.8 in the pre-market. I can't remember.
Somebody.
Yeah, somebody mentioned.
Remember who?
Somebody mentioned that we probably get to 17.8.
Oh.
But it doesn't matter. We're not short the future, so it's irrelevant at this point. But right now, we've got.
Damn.
I mean, Obi, look at this. The VWAP break. This is exactly the bang, bang, bang. What's up, Adara?
Keeping an eye here on Paramount, PARA. Wall Street Journal here reporting that Paramount and Comcast have discussed streaming partnership, according to some sources. So worth keeping an eye on CMCSA as well right now, guys. Paramount to the downside.
Oh, we are to the downside on Tesla. It just broke right there and we got out. So we took another fill there at 198. We got out almost as fast as we got that fill. We got I'll tell you what the trade was. We got 198.19s, got out on a break lower at 198. Our break was going to be 80s. Looks like we got 77. So I'm here to slap a huge fail on this right now. So that was not the ideal trade there for Tesla. But I do want to try it again as we're coming into the 50 period here on the 200 with that top of 196. The reason why we did dump, let's take a little bit here. The reason why we did dump it was because I was looking for a possible position to come in. Now it's back through 198, of course, back through this price. So let's wait to see if we get that 196. I'm guessing we don't get it now. It looks like we do hold a little bit there at 198. We'll take a little, just a flyer here because I don't want this to go back to 200. We don't have anything. So we'll take a little flyer, but I am willing to take one more shot down here at 196. I still like the stock, but you can see the NASDAQ is absolutely dead. But we just came into 17.8 again. So, I get, it's a tricky trade. It's a tricky trade because we lost money there on Tesla, but did quite well on Amazon. So it's kind of like a net zero there. That's the problem with trading multiple names, especially opposite ways. Going long Tesla, going short Amazon, when the market flushes, you're a hero on one and a zero on the other, right? So that's why you have to make sure that you take profit. Like, we already saw that anyways. We already saw that with Tesla, right? Tesla came up, we took the profit there, but then we got hit on the way back in. So, yeah, man, good trading today for sure. It's just volatile. And we kind of should have expected that. You were kind of going crazy there about Coinbase, and wow, that name dropped out for sure.
Coinbase,
that goes with the stop orders.
Oh yeah.
Like if we talked about liking that 190, when it breaks 190, that's where you get out. And it's some trades are easy, some trades are very, very tough. I will start to look more at the chat. I know there's some names that are moving around. CELH says Andrew Ditter right there. We'll watch for that Coinbase bottom. Apple, yeah, let's look at Apple right now. Oh, back down to 182. So I don't even have Like, first of all, Uber 78, okay, that's fine. We wanted that Apple trade down here at 182. I'm bidding right now 182.05. It just came right in here. I feel like the market is not giving us longs that we want. So let's just be specific with Apple and wait. Like, I'm waiting at that 182. If it breaks it, then you will use a couple pennies lower to get out. But let's just see if we get a 182 fill. All right, so we're into Tesla now at an average price of 198. So we'll give it to this. I feel confident. We do have another bid down near 196, and if we wind up breaking 196, then we can call it a day there on Tesla. So it's actually fine. Our account is completely fine. Everything's going good today. Just would rather have had only the Amazon long and not or only the Amazon short and not the Tesla long. But we'll give a little bit back there, and we'll watch to see what happens with Apple. As it's coming into 182 now, let's take a small piece here at 40, and then we'll see what happens coming through. But we do have in less than 1 minute numbers with Adara. So we'll get to those as I'm trying to get a little bit more long here. There it is. So we just got another shot there on Apple. We're still short on Amazon. We're net positive, but not happy with that Tesla trade. Let's go to the desk and find out what Adara's up to.
We're just getting these numbers in here, haven't arrived quite yet, but the main one to look at here, Michigan consumer sentiment preliminary. Previous was 79, the consensus of 80 and forecast of 79.5 here. Michigan 5-year inflation sentiment, or 5-year inflation expectations, previous and forecast both 2.9%. And current conditions, 82 is going to be the forecast here. Let's see if we have these in yet. They are incoming. Overall, though, the market definitely still reacting to earnings. And we did have that PPI print this morning that did come in a little bit higher than expected. So 0.9% versus 0.6%, the estimate here. Still getting in these numbers. Also waiting here for the inflation expectations, especially ahead of more FOMC sentiment with that higher than expected CPI print we got on Tuesday as well. So lots of inflation coming in overall. We did get this consumer sentiment preliminary print 79.6 versus the forecast of 79, so slightly higher than expected. Current conditions preliminary coming in 81.5. We're still waiting on these inflation expectations here as well, but consumer expectations preliminary coming in 78.4 versus 77.2 expected. 5-year inflation expectations coming exactly in line here, 2.9%. SPY just a little bit negative right now here, down about 0.6% after a pretty strong week overall, with the exception of that move down on the CPI print. Earnings very much still on watch though here. DoorDash down about 13% after providing a GAAP EPS miss and a sales beat. We also have Roku down more than 21%. They had earnings were fine, but they did actually forecast a higher loss per share for the next quarter than was estimated by analysts. So big move down here for ROKU, guys.
Yeah, saw that. Roku, thank you, Miss Adara. Good report there for sure. Okay, so right now, man, we are just in positions that we sort of thought we would be in at this time, especially on a nice move to the downside. We have Apple right here right now. I thought Randy's not here today, so those of you guys asking, I was like, oh my God, is Randy here? Because I thought we just got a coffee there. But here we go, man. Amazon, nice move down. I'll take one, sure. Thanks, Sharif. All right, so Apple right now, nice long. We're long where we need to be long. We're long at 182. This was the level that we wanted, but again, with economic numbers coming through and the market trying to figure out what exactly it wants to do, that's the position that I'm in right now. We just cashed out on Amazon. That is now part of the club, as Amazon's now $1 in the money. We should have had a monster position there, but we've been scalping it out, Obi, which seems to have been not right. But okay, we'll get more out of Apple, man. What am I supposed to do? We are now in the money 20 cents. We were waiting for a big push back there on Apple. So let's see if that happens. This is the funny thing. We were within 1 penny of getting out here on Tesla. We're trying to take 75 cents. We went to 75, it went to 71s. So we were a little bit off there on Tesla at 75. So that kind of sucks for that fill. We'll see if that comes in one more time there now. But it's Apple, and this is going to be the apple of my eye, especially if this continues to go this way. So right now we're laughing here, but it could be short-lived as Apple taking my #1 spot now. Well, my bad. Amazon's the #1 spot, but Apple's trying to catch up here a little bit with this 182 long.
Yeah, so I did kind of get involved here on some of these names that I am interested in. Softy in and around some of these levels here, and ARM as well. Getting a little chopped up on ARM here. Nothing too crazy as of right now. But you know what? I'll piece off of that one right now. 123. We kind of broke back below that 125. Oh boy, yeah. I get out the 123. I punch out, and then it just rebids back to 124. GG's. All right, so that's perfectly fine. I will wait. I will wait a little bit longer, right? I don't have to. Like, I shouldn't be trying to catch bottoms here, but like, it feels like that's what I'm doing by being a little bit more impatient. I'll let it rebid, I'll let it consolidate, I'll let it kind of show me where it wants to hold, and then maybe get involved a little bit more there. But I tried a couple times, I tried a few more times there. 3-strike rule has been hit. So I do got to be a little bit more patient. I'm clearly not being patient enough. But it's so funny that I punch out. This is the one time that I manually punch out and I don't let it come into my stop, and then it rips back up 2 points off of that. That's a little bit of a story there. But you know what? I'll stay a little bit more patient. Let me know in the chat what you guys are trading there. Are you guys being a little patient, waiting for those moves to come in? ARM is bouncing off of 123 right now, but Apple caught a bid on that. Guess where Apple caught a bid?
Yeah,
181.80s.
Dude, I don't need to guess it. It's already on the sticky note. So we're already long here at 182. What's up, Adara?
Beauty.
Applied Therapeutics making a day 2 move here. APLT, this one is a small cap. We have about 63.37 million share float here. This one announcing positive results yesterday for a trial for a treatment with regards to neurological disorders here. So nice move up here, about 40% to the upside. APLT, guys.
Apple probably doesn't hold. That's the problem. But then it just held again. All right. So Tesla. Let's go over to Tesla. We talked about 196 hold. Didn't really get there. We're long now, $1 in the money. But like I said, if this just gets to 199.50, we're flat on Tesla on the day. And we're at our highest spot we've been at all day right now. So let's see if it can go. Actually, that's not true. We were much more in the money when Tesla was up at 203. So that's my bad. I'm just looking here. We've made a good comeback off those lows. So I was saying that I'm not sure Apple's going to hold, and I would like to see it stay up here. But you know what I asked Danielle Shea yesterday? Look at SMCI. I mentioned yesterday to everybody, my target for this was $700. The puts were there today. Another opportunity missed by your guy. And damn SMCI, we knew this day was coming. It is what it is. But there it goes, man. We talked about SMCI. And I don't know what else we can talk about, to be honest with you. But there it is. That's that play that we wanted. Obi, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's
the SMCI short.
Yeah, everybody was looking for that continuation.
Like yesterday, Danielle's like, "Oh, you think it's going to go back down to like 900?" I'm like, "Nah, 700." And then she was going to message me with a trade to check my messages. But there it goes, man. SMCI down to 870. Thank you. We've just refilled my half coffee with a beautiful coffee. That's all full up. Thank you, Mr. Professor. Man, we on one a little bit, though. All right, so Tesla, where's this VWAP? So we have an offer right now at $199.75. Oh, where's that? $199.50? All right, you know what? I'm going to take a $199.50 right now just because. So we'll sit there and take it. There it is. All right, that was easy. All right, cancel. We only got part filled, so we'll cancel that. All right, so there it goes. We got a 40 fill. All right, now let's see where Tesla goes from here, guys. It's a good one. We'll see if it can hold. I'm not reloading Apple, but if it wants to ride, I'll ride with it. Let's see if it wants to go from there. And there it is, man. What is happening with Coinbase? So if Apple, just an FYI, if Apple breaks 80, we're gone on it. We will be red on the name. But it's not like we're up on it now. I'm just talking about if it breaks, we'll be down. But we have about 30% of our total position. It's not working. That is quite obvious at this point. By the way, there's the out there at 40, right? So now we talked about that. So now we're gonna have to wait to see what happens with the rest of this trade on Tesla. We're gonna give this one some room. Like at this point, man, 202 is more my jam. So 201, let's go to 201.95. You know, we're here to party, Obi. And we're gonna see if we can do that here. So let's see what happens. Apple bouncing pretty sweetly off that level. We've cleaned out. We only have 10% of our initial Amazon position. So let's just put another fill here as it's trying to get back up. I'm down for a complete rebound in this market. This could be a good one. So let's go for that. The only other thing that we talked about here was Coinbase and Uber. So we can have a look back at Uber. I feel like maybe we should do that. Coinbase, what? Wow, that Coinbase flushed to 180, man. Wow, that was a big one there on Coinbase. So still nowhere near like, I mean, I guess we got pretty, I mean, that 180 would have been beautiful. Obviously, it's $6 in the money. 182. I'm just thinking because we're underneath, but I like the story on the long. I mean, Bitcoin down here at 51.7 is not helping anybody. If you like the short, I feel like you could try it here near 190. Started at 188.50, but for me, I'm only going long right now names. So let's just keep with that idea and see if we can get a little bit more money here on some of these short ideas that we have. So for right now, it's what we're dealing with. And it is, excuse me, a couple longs in Tesla and in Apple. That's all that we have on board right now. Let's see if we can get it to go. Apple, nice long 40 cents now in the money. And you know what? We are not, shout out to Neil, we are not going to look gift horses in the mouth. We'll take 50 cents right there, slap it out a little bit, and let's just see what happens now moving forward. It's Apple, it's all the rest. We like it a lot. Let's see how low we can get here on the market. We'll just buy more. Tesla right now, up now. Obi, it's not $1, my guy. We're $2 now. So let's go. We've got Apple, we've got Amazon, and we've got Tesla, and we will revisit potentially Uber, as Uber's basing at 78.50, but I feel like we might have missed that one. All right, what do you got on board there?
I got a couple names here. I got involved in a little bit of Amazon. I got involved in a little bit of ARM, and as well as Softy there. So ARM is holding a little bit of some of those levels here right now. So I'm watching it. That 125 held quite well. So let's see how much further we can get this to push. And yeah, let's just see kind of that pre-market consolidation low 129s. I like that. Let's see if we can get up there. If not, the market is catching a little bit of a bid. We did sell off quite aggressively on the day. So you know what? I do want to keep that in mind. And if it's not really gonna give it to me right away, then that's perfectly fine as well. Like I said, I'm trying to exercise patience as much as possible on the day today. So I just got to check something real quick here. Yeah, so here's the thing, Sean.
Yeah.
I think I found a little bit more success with being a little bit more patient, right? And I think that has been one of my main issues as of recent, not being that patient for when the move comes in, like, and then I chop myself up in the move when it's not really there. So I think I've been getting a little bit better with that, and being patient definitely pays, as somebody in the chat earlier mentioned, for sure.
All right, so I mean, Obi, honestly, I call you out all the time, and I've congratulated you for leading the office days, and you can obviously see the difference in your trading. So congratulations to that, and you don't need to
improvements.
Yeah, you don't need to justify like anything. These are the trades that you're trying to make, and I'm trying to make my trades, and the guys at home are the same way. So let's go, man. Good talk there, Obi. I like that. All right, SMCI. Just really quickly, let's have a quick look back here. Oh, right. Wow, it bounced quite nicely off me kind of saying like it's going to the downside. But there it is, 868, nice bounce back up to the upside. For me, AMD, I really like that one. I haven't looked at it, but we like that 180, maybe 181. What? Okay, well, there's 180, by the way, would now be $6 in the money. Have you seen what's going on with AMD? This is crazy. Also, NVDA. So there we go, man. We talked about getting upgrades upon upgrades upon upgrades, and then eventually the music was going to come to an end. But it doesn't look like it's happening right now for NVIDIA, but it definitely is hitting names like AMD and the like, as they continue to be a problem, it looks like here, now to the downside even more. You know what else is a problem, man? We talked about Roku, and we talked about possibly watching out out for that pre-market level break. Well, that's exactly what happened, man. And now you're all the way down to $73 on Roku. Roku really getting kicked as well today. So that's another name that continues to get beat up. So I'm still just going to, you know, kind of relax and rest on what we have here. I'm now at basically a realized high of the day for me. So because we've been getting out of some of these things. So, well, we had that great winner on Tesla early. It was unrealized profit because we were kind of like liking this up here and we thought we could get even higher, but that was a good one. Here it comes, man. There's 200. Where's my 200, Phil? Oh yeah, we're waiting at 201. Let's get higher, man. Here we go, Obi. This is gonna be a good one again, I feel like. Let's see what happens right now. There goes Tesla. We're $2 in the money on Tesla. We're 40 cents in the money on Apple, but Apple keeps on bouncing off of 50. So let's put another offer in and around 40. Take it out again if it pops back up there. I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to solve the, you know, all the problems here. Just trying to make sure that we make the right trades. So there goes Tesla off that 198 all the way back up, looking at two bills. We might as well get something out here on VWAP, I'm feeling like. But again, I still think we can get going higher than this. Let's get greedy, man. Let's just get greedy. I don't say it that often. We got greedy yesterday with Amazon and it worked out. Let's see if we can do that with Tesla. A nice break above VWAP in and around 201 is a pretty decent take. So let's see if we can break VWAP and get to 201. Let's put an offer up there. So $200 and like 80 cents, something like that, Obi. We'll see if we can get that, Phil. Oops, I just put $2,000. Let's see if we can get $200 and 80 cents here on Tesla, which will give us, that'll give us about $4. So we'll see if we can get that trade off here for us. And then there's the fill right now as well on Apple. Today is, again, a pretty good day. Thank you, Obi, for being here.
Yeah, thanks again for having me there. I got stopped out again on ARM. Again, I feel like this name obviously is one of the more competitive names in the market right now. The type of action that it's having, it's definitely a little bit of a ranked arena here on ARM. So I do enjoy kind of trading with it, but it does, in my opinion, I think it does require a significant amount of focus and awareness there to properly and effectively kind of take the name there. But yeah, let's kind of wait a little bit more there. 125. I got stopped into 125 there. Again, not really giving it the risk it deserves, I think, right now. And yeah, if we're going to come right back into the downside, I do want to stay a little bit more patient. Let's see what we do in and around this 125. But yeah, let me know what you guys have been trading in the chat. A lot of people are mentioning Tesla, so let's take a quick look at Tesla. I know that it ran up all day yesterday, so maybe a little bit of a relief coming in right now. But yeah, so we got a little bit of a relief coming in. And yeah, look at that. Quite a strong bid. 190 all the way up past 200. Wild.
So where would you say would be a
wild.
good long there on Tesla?
I have no idea, but it seems like this, like right here, we bounced off of this previous this midday consolidation right now. 198, 200's not too bad either. But I think that if we can distinctly get above that 205, I think that's worth a watch.
But on the downside?
Oh, on the downside, I think that like over here, you see that little wick, 195-ish. I like that.
Do you see my position?
Very nice.
$3 right now in the money. So I was glad that Obi went over and talked about it. We just mentioned that. So there we go. We get out right there. We just talked about it. We were not going to get out there. If Obi wants 205, then let's freaking moon to 205 right now. Again, great day happening over here. Apple continues. So the thing is, it's like, it's going to sound like every day I'm like, this is such a great day and everything like that. But I don't also have a problem telling you when I get absolutely destroyed. It's just like the whole point of this show is to, first of all, hopefully give you guys some trading ideas, right? I feel like we did that. We have the rundown every single morning where we go over the watch list. And then I put the trades on. I mean, we have one, I mean, it says, Obi, read what this says for Apple right there. One what?
182L looking to...
That's fine.
Okay.
So 182. You guys can all go find that. It's at 182.50. It didn't go against us, man. Like that was that number that came out at 10 o'clock. It wicked down to 93. We're not scared of that. And then Tesla, like, no, okay, here's another thing, by the way. Hi, I'm Sean. We also host the Market Recap Show. Yesterday on the Market Recap Show, if you guys were watching, I said I'm going to have two trades tomorrow. I said I'm going to have Tesla long. I said Apple long, and then we mentioned Uber. Uber today, we already got in and out of that one. We'll have to relook at it. But we already knew these positions heading into today, yesterday. We just had to wait for good levels to show up. Feel like we got it. If this market rebounds, man, we're 350 in the money here. My number one P&L stock still, despite doing this, is still Amazon off of that great short rate there. So my number one P&L is a short, followed by long Tesla, long Apple, and then stopped out of an Uber long that we had there that was wrong. So I'm not going to say that Uber long was right, but that's what it is, man. You guys yelling about Nova. Let me know. Did not hear something in my ear there. Did I? No. Okay. Sonova Energy here. Some people want to talk about there in the chat. Meta. There's so many names to trade, guys, that it does become a little bit overwhelming sometimes. I'm going to get another piece out here. Apple seems to be running into a little bit of a problem. Remember where the market is, though, right now? We're under VWAP. We're underneath. We're still underneath 17.8. The reason why I think it's worth holding on to something at least here is because of the damage that we've seen in the NASDAQ when it wants to get going. So we've already taken some of the profits here on some of these positions. So we're not necessarily needing a move to go higher, but if it does explode higher, we want to make sure that we have something on. We've already protected against the downside now. So this Apple trade, we only have about 25% left of this, which sucks. The Tesla trade, we have about the same amount, actually, between 20 and 25%. And Amazon, we are well light on AMZN. So yeah, this is the name that we're light on. It's Amazon, but everything else should be okay. Let's see what happens here as we continue to push. Amazon back to highs, probably not reloading this one. We've already hit it. No point in getting too excited about Amazon reload now. We'll look at it, but I'm not excited about it.
Nice, yeah. So a little bit of a chop fest here, still going on ARM in and around this 125 area here, but we are catching a little bit of a bid. Market kind of a strong wick to the upside, 168 holding on Amazon, and then 405-ish area kind of rebid back on Softy there as well. Let's see if we can get past VWAP. VWAP I have at 405 halves, so we're kind of rushing right back up into that VWAP area here. Let me quickly put on where is VWAP on the Amazon. I just want to know where other people might be involved. 168.11s-ish, it would seem. So interesting for sure. ARM's still kind of choppy there, so I am kind of getting a little, might be getting a little too aggressive there on the ARM, as it still probably needs a little bit more time there on that 125. But that Amazon kind of ripping right back through. Here comes Softy into VWAP there. So let's see what we do in and around that VWAP. Can we reclaim? Do we kind of sell off? I have no idea, but let's see. We can come up with a few potential if-thens there. If that Softy can reclaim VWAP and maybe consolidate above that, maybe we get that continuation for a potential reversion. Again, not expecting too much. It is the day before a long weekend.
Good point.
Exactly. So like I said, I'll take what I can get for the most part there, and assess a little bit. Google coming straight down to the downside and looking distinctly different from the rest of some of these names here. Very, very aggressive selling to the downside there.
I feel like there's a lot of issues here today, including me missing AMD short. SMCI continues to go. What was at one point potentially a small cap SMCI is no longer. So let's go over and talk to Adara and figure out what's going on with the small cap recap.
IWM, the Russell 2000, to the downside right now, but still seeming to make higher highs and higher lows, so could be a bit of a recovery story here. As always, lots of small cap runners to talk about, including CPOP. This one is Pop Culture Group. It is based in China. Not finding any news stories on this. It could be related to the overall lift in some of these Chinese ADRs today. Also worth noting, the float on this one is 1.3 million shares and market cap of about 3.24 million. So interesting look there. We also have Applied Therapeutics day 2 move for APLT yesterday, announcing some interim trial results for a neuropathy treatment. And last but not least, Backblaze, this one releasing an earnings beat and higher than expected revenue projections. Good look across the board for BLZE, up about 25% right now, guys.
Just Blaze. All right, we like that one. All right. All right, so let's just check back here. So I want to talk about, we got some out. We talked about we only had 25% left of Tesla, right? You cannot be a day trader if you are not a manager of risk. I consider that my #1 job, risk manager. I don't even obviously trader, but you got to manage your risk. And if you're not doing that, then unfortunately, you're going to be off. So we're going to have to wait for Tesla to come back into 196. I am not reloading this at any level until we get closer to 196. So let's wait for that. I feel like the market could make a little bit of a move lower. What's really been surprising me on this move lower here in the market is Apple's strength. So when we see something like that, it's pretty easy for us to flip our game over and get out. So that's a nice move to the upside. We still want to hold, look guys, we still want to hold the long, right? There's no doubt we like this long. But at the same time, we have to be very, very careful that it could retrace back. And this looks like, to me, a decent profit-taking opportunity here for Apple. So we'll get out on that one. We did not reload Amazon. And then just on a talk that I wanted to have quickly was DraftKings. This DraftKings trade has been pretty choppy back and forth here. So we'll leave DraftKings alone. A name that hasn't been too choppy. We talked about that earlier, why we didn't really like DraftKings, because it didn't have that move as expected off earnings. And then Coinbase as well. Big move early, big move late. I mean, late, I guess 9:45. And then right now trying to figure out what it wants to do as Bitcoin settles. So I don't think that there's too much going on there. You could look for a Roku bottom, though, because Roku just hit 73 and kind of stopped there. So I'm thinking that could be something there for Roku, so that is good. Okay, Scott H, we like Scott H. Let's go find out. I don't mean to ignore everybody else, because honestly, that's the least of what we're trying to do around here. We're just busy trading. So let's go have a look quickly at Holo. Halted what? Okay, this was $2 a couple days ago. It's $60 right now. Holo is going insane. Is that the right word for this? Upside another 89%. Halt there at 50, up to 60. The story with this, I believe, is just a low float, right? So we're going to have to watch out here with Holo and see exactly what the situation is. But it's a downside push here for or upside push for HOLO and just going insane. We have left this one alone the last couple days and not traded it, but that seems to have been a mistake. HOLO really, wow, $2? I mean, was there a reverse split here? Is that what we're missing out on this? I don't think so.
That was a runner from a few days ago.
No, it's not.
Right?
This is actual real. This was a runner down there. So wow, congratulations on you Holo holders, because this name just continues to pay off. Again, when it's not a reverse split, this kind of stuff could happen. I just very weary of reverse split names that do this, but Holo looks like it is the real deal. And it's gonna halt again right now. There it is, here comes the live halt right in front of everybody. You can see it can't break. The only way it cannot halt is if it goes down, but this is not happening, as there it is. So wow, good move there for Holo. Congratulations, man. If you have this one, Scott H and everybody, this continues to go. Really nowhere in sight now. These are the runners that you're looking for if this is your style. Again, congratulations on Holo. DraftKings, Roku. My eyes are still trying to go everywhere to find different names to trade. You're in Softy, I thought.
Yeah.
You're also in ARM.
ARM, Amazon, and Softy. Those are the three.
Quick check-in on AMD. All right, so still not there yet. I'm happy trading the names that we have right now, but still looking for some more. Holo did reverse split, someone just said. Okay.
Okay, all right.
Split 1 to 10 on Feb 2nd.
I remember that, what was it, a few days ago, that was the name that kind of kick-started the small cap euphoria, right? It goes up like, what, 1,000%? I think that was Holo, right?
It was, but this is...
The after hours?
This is... I feel like you got to get out of it. Like if this is, I do see that here. Sorry, I looked at eSignal. I looked at our charts, and then I looked at eSignal. You can see there is a split here. Yeah, 2-2, 1 to 10. So there was a split there. So guys, you know what my opinion like on splits. So just be careful with all of that. I don't have a split marker here, but it might have also split. No, that doesn't make. Wow, did it split here? $22 all the way to 160. Was that like a 5 for 1, 6 for 1 there? Anyways, yeah, this name is going absolutely insane. And let's just see, just for you home players out there that might not have the tap, no. It is saying $100, $100.13, 113 right now. $113. There it goes. Now it's back. $70. Okay, so we'll have to look at the tap as it gets closer. It used to be a lot more accurate, almost right off the jump. But I think we've seen now a couple times. I remember now it's 72, now it's 75. So you see, this is the implied open. So it's a theoretical auction price. That's what the tap stands for. So that's saying that now that it's getting all of the bids and all of the offers behind the scenes, the NASDAQ is, this is a NASDAQ stock, it's coming up with a price that based on the supply and the demand that it's seeing during the halt state, where it's going to open up. So that's why we tend to look at that price to give an idea of where we may open. So that's what's happening right now on Holo, and now it's $70. So, all right, Rivian maybe a play there, Obi. Let me give you the floor here. Rivian's at $16. Rivian reports next week. We do have the podcast tonight. I want to talk about Rivian on that, so we will be doing that later on. So make sure you join us all for the podcast tonight. Me and Brendo have a great one lined up for you one more time. We're excited to bring it, so please support that. Well, that'll be in for tomorrow. You can have your coffee, you can have your pancakes, whatever you're having tomorrow morning, make sure that you have it with the podcast. So that's coming tomorrow. And we have some banger trade ideas there, man. We had Palantir on there. We had Adobe on there. We had Nike at 100. I should look at Nike before I say that. And then we had... we talked about DocuSign, which I actually really like. I want to talk more about that. And then we talked about Roku being a huge move potential this week. And it looks like Roku might be one of the biggest ones there as well. What's up to Sam Troy, man? Thank you so much for this. He started with Day Trade the World, which is now Real Trading. Futures and NYMEX are the bomb. So there you go. Thank you so much, Sam. I'll trade the TQs, but we do have a couple futures traders around here. You guys have seen Steph, and You've seen Arun, and that's that. So, yeah, man, thank you, Sam Troy, for the $10 super chat. It does mean a lot to us. Tesla, $1.50 in the money, and that's that. So, Rivian, what? Rivian went to 1670. So, I know Brendan's in this name. I think Neil's in it, like up in these 20s, looking to average in. And it's a long-term play for, actually, I believe Brendan mentioned that this was going to be, if it got back up, potentially one that he may eventually trim, and we have some fun jokes about that on the podcast as well. But I like Rivian down here. When you're basing out like this, Obi, this is just another one of those things that if I looked at this as a day trade, it kind of reminds me of those Palantir 15 bottoms. It reminds me of the DraftKings $10 bottom that was huge that we actually wound up buying, but not as many shares. We got rid of those at 36, so that was a triple. But Rivian, I feel like this bottom could hold. There's the it's called R2T, right, Brendo? Is that what it is? R2T? Platform. So that's what we're waiting for with Rivian. That's going to be a big one. I expect some talk there on their release of earnings. So I feel like Rivian could be a decent shot down here if you're willing to fire some shots off. I mean, we fired it off on Tesla at 186. That's working as that gets near $200. I think there's some good opportunities here for some long-term plays. Despite the market being at highs, we know that 60% of the market move is associated with the big names. So there's a lot of names that have been really getting destroyed. Rivian would be one of those, and I feel like there's an opportunity there if you believe in the EV space. You believe in the EV space?
Yeah, for sure. I think that EVs are the future here. I think eventually gas-operated vehicles and combustion engines will probably be kind of. It's old tech. It's very inefficient. Yeah, we have infrastructure and everything that supports it very well right now, but. I think it is definitely the future of transportation, and I think there's a lot of legislation coming out as well for the future. I know that Cali's pretty big on it as well. The whole.
California?
Yeah.
Yeah.
By 20 something they want to get in. Laws that say that you can only kind of
here in Ontario, I think it's 2030. They want no more EV. They want no more combustible engines produced. I don't know if it's like it's being talked about, but it's similar to what you're saying there. All right.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that it is the future.
Let's get this. Me too. Let's get this talk going on something else that's potentially the future. Let's go find out about crypto.
Coinbase falling a little bit here, holding that 180 level pretty well, but this one, of course, on watch, still up 10% after releasing an earnings beat across the board. Specifically, the earnings per share here, profit $1.04 per share versus the expected 1 cent per share loss. So huge move, first profit in 2 years for Coinbase. They also posted a pretty hearty sales beat as well. Really nice look here. Also follows CleanSpark's earnings last week, which were also really strong. So overall, all these crypto stocks seem to be doing really well with earnings this season. Bitcoin itself running into a little bit of trouble here, just around this 52,000 area. This candle looking pretty similar to yesterday's candle here on the daily chart. We're having these wicks above 52,000, but overall still continuing that move in general to the upside after that nice surge that we've had this week, all week for BTC. BTC a little bit to the downside right now. Ethereum also a bit to the downside, but still well above that 2,700 level. Solana up down about 5%. Sorry for Solana. Ripple up about 2%. Cardano down 2.5%. Avalanche down 5%. So mostly to the downside here for these crypto names. We are brought to you by Benzinga Pro. You can sign up today for 50% off their premier news and research platform for retail traders with the code TTV, capital letters. Just use the link in the description to go to checkout.
All right. Thank you, Miss Adara. Look, and I'm just gonna say this because I just messaged it to Brendan, and honestly, this is what I feel. I just messaged Brendan. I said Adara is really good. You know, honestly, I think Adara. And by the way, Adara, congratulations. Like she's really. Adara has the midday show to deal with, and then she's doing, hi, Adara, how's it going? Anyways, I just want to say I think you're doing a very good job, and thank you so much for being part of our team. So shout out to Adara right there. But okay, so whatever. I feel like that's important to do that. So, all right, thanks Adara for that. All right, new position alert. Hot dog cannon? Okay, but I hit that, so I'm the only one to blame, but I meant to hit this right there. So let's celebrate a little bit here with Rivian. So it's a new position. I don't know if we're going to be celebrating this or not. It's against us right now, but the thing about Rivian is I like that 16. So I know the market's down. This goes against sort of my baseline for trading. I always want to be with the market and with the trend. But today, my number one position today, P&L wise, and it's really not even close as Tesla decides to go lower, is Amazon. It's not even close. Like yesterday I told you it was my best day of the year, and it was all pretty much, it wasn't all Amazon, it was all Amazon early, and then we started getting those feels, and then we started going, we started to hit Tesla, and we started to hit Uber, and we really started to get going yesterday. So that spiked it, but it was the confidence of hitting Amazon. And then again, we talked about this with Obi about having confidence. I should have had more of that. When Amazon was right here, I was looking at the P&L and I'm like, okay, Amazon's, because the reason why I always hold a little bit of stuff, we talk about this, is so that I can sort of watch to see if it gets back to key levels. That's not really why I'm holding Tesla, because I already know where I want to get that. And it's just like, it was coming back up here. I'm like, wow, we really got going there, man. And we were long Apple and we were long Tesla. And I said, I don't really want to reload Amazon because I felt like the market could have gone on a turn there. And we know that Amazon's beat up here a little bit, but it's not too much different than the market. If this wants to go, it does have a chance to go. We know that Jeff Bezos has been selling some shares. I think he sold, imagine doing this, and you could say this, you did this multiple times. Jeff Bezos, Obi, has sold $2 billion worth of stock, I think 3 times this year.
Wow.
So, you know, there's something about that, right? So we'll watch out for that coming through. And I don't blame the dude, man. The guy's lifting weights. The guy's on his yachts. He's probably, him and Zuckerberg are probably, you know, somewhere, I don't know if they're chilling out in that fort that they built there.
That private island.
On the private island there. So I don't know exactly what's down with that, but yeah, man, yachts, yeah, and shout out to Lolo there. Yachts and new wives apparently are expensive. So, and he has a new one, that's all, nothing wrong with saying that. I don't even know if they're married, I don't know, but Anyways, his wife that they were riding it was a ride or die. She got paid a lot, like was with him from the beginning. Then they got that divorce, and she's very philanthropic, I believe, as well. So a lot of that's going to go back into hopefully for good. But wow,
This is Bezos.
yeah, Bezos.
Yeah.
So again, like sort of the tale of two things there, where he's trying to get away, not step away from Amazon with a new CEO and everything like that. And then you have another rich individual named Elon Musk that obviously we just got the 13G filing yesterday or 2 days ago, where he disclosed a monster stake, 21%, 20.5% right there of the company. So he's getting close to hopefully dropping grok on all of us, and we'll find out for that. And you better believe something as well, Obi. Oh my gosh, Obi.
What's happening? What's happening?
It's Apple.
Yes, sir.
This is the number. I mean,
That 182.
This is.
Boy.
We haven't. Oh boy.
Oh boy. Indeed.
We haven't talked enough about the sticky note today. Something that we've just created over the last couple days. No. The sticky notes. Look at this. You know when you have raining down ideas. These are the sticky notes that continue to be on my desk and in the book here. As I'm thinking, I want to make like an arts thing with it. Like I feel like
Make it into like an NFT. Each one into an NFT.
like Donald Trump, he had those NFTs where like one of them he was wearing like a USA, like with a huge ass bazooka or huge bazooka or something like that. And then he had other ones where do you not know about those Donald Trump NFTs?
I think I've seen them. It's like they're like super patriotic and
Right.
with the
and he was
eagle.
done
And
to, I guess obviously to raise a little bit of money.
Those are pretty
there,
cool.
but, I thought those were pretty cool. So maybe we'll do one like that. We'll have like Trader TV NFTs.
Yeah.
I want the Obi one.
I don't know when that one's. I don't know when that
you
one's
could have
coming,
like
but
a lightsaber.
that would be sick.
Yeah, I mean you're already the Padawan, so all right.
Dual wield red sabers.
Whatever you want, my
would be
guy.
sick.
Whatever you want, man. We just train. You guys take whatever
If you do that,
weapons you want.
that's not that.
But don't fight Yoda. All right, right here, Apple. Look at this. $1.23 in the money. Looking to build off momentum with AI news. Get long, possibly 183. I did do that, and I possibly lost on it. But then it went down into our 182, and we took that, right? There's Tesla long 200. We're still in that trade. We also talked about it into here, 198 would be a level. So we talked about that. What about the Amazon short, the number one name for me? Uber long didn't work out, and that Coinbase 192 turned out to be cash money, but it wasn't a long, it was a short. So we'll look at that. But again, for trade ideas, it's not even the number one resource. The number one resource around here for the trade idea is our watch list. You got to go over to watchlist.trader. By the way, Apple's now $1 and change in the money, $1.20. Finally, Tesla's starting to run right now. Rivian is doing jack. And I want to throw it over to Obi's position. Well, actually, we have Sector Watch first. Then we're going to come back and let Obi talk because your boy is obviously talking way too much. So let's go over there. We're at, again, another unrealized high of the day for me because of what's happening here with Apple. So I just wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. And I wish I had more Apple shares than I would call her.
But you are a shot caller.
I am a shot. I mean, name another shot caller, Obi is a shot caller. We'll discuss his positions when we get back from the desk. It's Miss Adara.
Apologies there. A lot of these sectors weak or flat on the day, specifically technology services, Meta and Adobe leading the group to the downside here. NVDA, one of the lone standouts to the upside in electronic technology here after getting none less than 4 price target increases today ahead of its earnings next week. Eli Lilly, one of the few positive names in health technology. Finance, similarly a flat sector right now. Retail trade, Amazon leading to the downside. Producer manufacturing, though, notably strong with the exception of John Deere. So nice look here for producer manufacturing. Also consumer non-durables worth noting here. Generally a little bit more mixed to flat, but Nike to the downside after getting a price target downgrade from Oppenheimer, and also announcing a 2% workforce reduction plan. So absolutely worth watching NKE and the consumer non-durables, guys.
I just said to Obi, you need a chip in a chair. And he wasn't familiar with that, so I explained it, and he was just questioning your arm trade. Not questioning it. Do we want to talk about your arm trade, or do you want?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. So I'm long a few names here. You told me to join the club, so I decided I'll show up a little bit late. So I got trips in the club right now.
You have $3 club winners?
No, I mean they're kind of fluctuating in and around.
Matter. You have it. There's one. There's two. There's three. Hey, it doesn't happen often, so we got it right there.
Triple whammy.
This is who we're playing with right now. It's Obi, baby. Let's go, Obi.
Yeah, so Softy did kind of get back up into that VWAP. I was looking for that curl back up, and we got some of that. So I did piece off a little bit here. Let's see what we do in and around this VWAP. Amazon very, very strong back up to the upside there. Yeah, this one I haven't really traded in quite a while, but yeah, it's again the setup shows up. Sometimes you get multiple setups, and that I really like a lot as well. But yeah, some of these names working out well. I got a little lucky. I did have to look at how many times I'm trying on ARM. This is what I mean. I keep saying I have to be patient. I have to be patient. Why am I saying that? Because I know that I am not patient enough. I'm trying to bring it into, I'm trying to manifest to say. So I'm trying to manifest that into reality, and I need to obviously be a lot more patient for this move to come in here. And I don't even know if it's gonna go right away right now, but yeah, we shall see. I'm gonna be a little bit more patient holding these in. Apple is doing a little bit of a wiki on underneath that 183 as well. So. Some of these names working well. Let us know in the chat what you guys are up to today on a Friday before the long weekend. And do you guys have any plans? I'd love to read what you guys have planned for the long weekend. I got nothing too much. I know I have. Well, we got a grad party tonight. Shout out to Wayner. And this weekend, nothing too crazy. A little bit of gaming tomorrow. Some family events. Of course, Family Day weekend, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, Sunday, actually Monday, I'll be doing the prep. I like to do it before kind of the week starts there. But yeah, nothing too crazy there. But yeah, how about, no, I already talked to you about your weekend yesterday. You said you had a lot of hockey this weekend.
So I have my daughter and a friend is coming here after the podcast. We have, there's the battle on Bay Street tonight with the PWHL. So that's going to be a sold out event, 20,000 people there at the Scotiabank Arena tonight. We're sitting in row 1, right on the glass, right behind or right beside the bench of the Toronto team. So I feel really, like I was talking about that story, I've never even sat in the lower bowl for a Maple Leaf game, and so getting that opportunity when my brother-in-law visits in a little while. But we are able to grab these. We're season seat holders for the PWHL, and that's been a great league. I really hope it works out. I can't talk about my daughter because I'm going to get choked up again. So we're doing that, and then there's a practice tomorrow at 9 a.m. My son has a game tonight that unfortunately I can't attend because we're going to this game. And then we're full of games. My parents, hopefully on Sunday, we're going over there, like you mentioned, Family Day, seeing some family that I haven't seen in a while as things just get so busy, man. And the problem is that, let's go. Let's go, Tesla. Tesla now, my guy, 250. Back in the money on Tesla. We did get stuffed out of Amazon. Good thing we didn't reload that. But it's funny because it's February already, and like I wasn't able to see some of the family there during the holidays. So we're doing that now, and it's been a really fun time to do that. So we're going to spend some family time. And I actually forgot that it was a long weekend.
Yeah.
And my wife, I think it was yesterday, was like, "Oh, you have Monday off." I was like,
yeah,
"Bang."
I think some of my family members also were like, "Oh, don't you have Monday off?" I was like, "No." And then I looked at the calendar. I was like, "Damn."
And then I was back there, and I was talking with our guy in compliance, of course, and he's a funny guy. He says kind of the same thing to me. He goes, "Oh, well, it's only a day off for some of you because he's got to monitor the Brazilian market. We have the Mexico. And by the way,
you guys putting in work."
Yeah, there's a few people around here putting in work, that's for sure. Real trading. Let's go over to that right now. You guys can join us up immediately right now. We've just rebranded. It used to be Day Trade the World. This is the company that I've been working for 22 years. We trade over 400 million shares a day. We trade over $3 billion worth per day. We have over 50 markets. We have over 3,000 traders, including Obi and myself right now. The word great has been used apparently, and excellent, and I highly recommend, I don't know, I've never read these before. There's some guy named Neil right here with his cool glasses on right now, pretending to trade because just sitting there. This is not his desk. That's why I say that. And then there's these guys here. Look at Sharif. Here we go. These guys, look at Neil. He's like, yo, what's up here? Yeah, but anyways, go over here. Find out from Brendan what's good with this. Start with just $500, man. It's really easy to load up. Bang, as this market continues to go to the upside. 24/7 technical support. To me, it's all about the platform that we have, which makes it the most special. We now have crypto on the platform as well. So go over to realtrading.com, find that out, man. We're testing crypto. We are planning on having multiple tokens available to trade on the platform. Neil and myself, and I can't take credit, it's mostly Neil, testing out some of these opportunities in the crypto space, including stop orders, bracket orders, multiple exchanges, things like that, potential arbitrage. We're working all of that out. More details to come when that's released. But we also got that super chat from Sam talking about NYMEX futures, which we also have, and talking about, what else did he talk about there? It was NYMEX, and I think it was just maybe CBOE, so, or CME. So we have all of those opportunities available here at Real Trading. Go find that for if you are interested, for sure. Tesla, again, it's that 198, the written down level that we can now try to support. If it does come back into 198, I'm just gonna take a small position there because we've written it down on the sticky note. We really like that for support. I was a little nervous about it because when I feel that I'm wrong on a stock, it's not worth taking the shot over and over again. That's the one big change that I've made, Obi, is not averaging into a complete and absolute loser when we've been wrong once. It's called being stubborn, and I've been that before, and I'm not trying to be it again. So let's wait to see what happens here with the current market. But I feel like right now, here comes a drop in. Let's buy 198s, but let's really be careful about that 196. And a good example of that would be Amazon, where you see, we did not average. Remember, we were a little bit mad we didn't average back in, but we had our reasons. I thought the market was going to be a little bit strong, and I thought Amazon could make it back a little bit. We went on our rant there about Bezos and whatnot. We did come back up to the 200, so that was a missed opportunity. So we can reshort Amazon at any time right now. So I think that's something that I want to look at. It's Amazon. It's a potential short up here near 169. All right. It's too bad that Apple can't judge how many words we say on my watch.
I mean, I can take over
no,
if you want.
No, it's not that. It's my fault, Obi.
Okay.
You speak perfectly fine and speak a lot.
On
that note, I'm going to give it back to you when you come back.
All right.
But for right now, it's Adara at the big desk.
USD coming back into that previous area of support here on the DXY, just above that 104.30 area. Really good look here after 2 days to the downside. We did get some economic data today worth discussing. The PPI year over year for January, higher than expected here, 0.9% to the upside versus the 0.6% upside estimate. We also have the highest Michigan consumer sentiment number in 31 months. So slight increase from the previous number of 79. Now we're at 79.6, still a little bit below the estimate of 80 here. So we did have some pullback, but still a little bit to the upside here on the DXY for the day. Also worth noting, we do have the FOMC minutes coming up next Wednesday. So certainly something that's going to be on watch with regards to how the USD will move, guys.
Thank you, Adara. Yeah, so I'll take it from here. Amazon, it is working out quite well. Pieced out of most of it right there. We can't really, we're coming into pre-market levels, right? Some of this consolidation level here, and we did kind of get nicely above VWAP. And softies still kind of churning in and around VWAP. I like Apple the way it's holding that 182. That's kind of interesting as well. Amazon, that was a nice hold. Again, you had the initial kind of opening range bottom there. You made a higher low, and then I got to reassess this. This right here, when you make another higher low, that triple whammy there, I could definitely be getting a little bit more when you hold into that 167.5, and we're pushing right back up into some of those levels. VWAP here all the way back down at 168.15, so we are well away from some of those levels, and we have some of the structure, these tops from before, from the morning session, that we may potentially see as resistance turned into support there. But yeah, let me know what you guys are trading. Punch that SMCI short, says Rocco Moro. So let's take a quick look at our friend SMCI and what Buddy's up to. Oh boy, that 1080. Shout out to NVIDIA, 1080, one of the best 1080 Ti's, a solid graphics card. But yeah, 1080 is the high on SMCI today, and drops right back in to 8, what is this low right here? 865 is the low on SMCI, quite
Tesla.
A strong flush on the day. Is this going to revert back to VWAP? Oh boy, if it reverts back to VWAP, how much of a point move is that? That's about an 80-point move if SMCI reverts back to VWAP. I cannot wait to have the risk to trade some of these tickers, but it is what it is. It will come with time. I think I have to earn that right. But as of right now, we are kind of chilling with some of these positions there, looking to kind of get more in here. Softy holding up quite well. Apple pushing through that VWAP.
Yes,
Where
sir.
is VWAP? 183.01 bids back through that 17.8 on the NQ. 5,000, we could not really get there on the ES. We're holding above that 5K mark again on a Friday. Let's see. We've only made lower highs there, or at least one lower high relative to what we did in the pre-market on the ES, and we are kind of reverting some of the moves. So I've been noticing dips are getting bought up quite aggressively. We've been having quite a few V-shaped recoveries. The frequency of them has been quite interesting as of late. Greater than 50% reversions all around, so the market is definitely giving some decent opportunities there. But it is what it is. We will take what we can get. Sean,
We like dime pieces around here. There's another one. It's Rivian. So we'll
always
go.
looking for a dime.
We always are, baby. We've got Apple 1 for 1. We've got Amazon 2 for 2. We've got Rivian 3 for 3. We've got Tesla 4 for 4. That's what it is, man. And we've got Uber a flat trade. So we're really printing. Look at Tesla go. Watch this. This is for you over there, PB. Watch this. It's a $1. It's a $2. It's a $3 winner right there on Tesla as Tesla continues to go to the high side. We've got a $1 winner on Apple as well. So right now we will end the show. What? No. I'm not ending the show yet, there, Professor.
Already.
Don't worry, Professor. The people will get the we'll get the Sharif love very, very soon. We'll end the show at our highest spot, is what I was going to get at. Yeah. You know, because, I mean, you know, Tesla's ripping right now. I feel like we've got that. You know, we've got that back in. We've got Apple right here off the sticky note level of 182. You know, that's going to be a good trade for us. We just put Rivian. We just put Rivian in our pocket. We talked about that. You know, and now we're sitting here and we're chilling. Not only that, yesterday on the market recap show, we talked about SMCI, and I said these guys' days are numbered. But that was an obvious take. It's not like that's a hot take or anything like that.
Yeah,
but we were kept saying, who's buying this name when the chart looks like this? I actually equated this, and I tweeted this out earlier today. Not just tweeting stuff out about what we're trading. We're trying to give everybody an idea of what potentially could come for the day, okay? So here we go. I tweeted this, dollar on track for 5th straight weekly gain. A strong dollar, right? Not great for some of these names. So remember that. We see Amazon going to the downside. Then we've been talking about NVIDIA. Continuous price target increases all week. 3 more big ones today at least. To me, that is a sign that we're getting a little toppy. Then we talked about GME versus SMCI with whatever this silly face is there. You know, things are getting silly. And we talked about it as this name, SMCI, getting higher, 99 on the daily RSI. The last time we saw that was with GameStop. And GameStop now is obviously a fraction of what we're talking about back in the day. So, look, it's been a fantastic day.
Yes, sir.
Neil will most likely be healthy on Tuesday. But Obi, my friend, you have multiple dollar winners. Welcome to the dollar.
I'll take what the market will give.
Welcome to the Dollar Trade Club, my guy over here. We're really proud of you, and I just want to say you are my next pick for the next one, Obi. You have been anointed the next one. No pressure. No pressure. But if you ever need anything, I'm here for you. So, all right.
Thank you, Sean.
No problem. Let's go back over. I'm going to let Obi wrap this thing up.
All right. Yeah.
All right,
so
2 more minutes to go. Great trading from Obi today.
Yeah, thank you, Sean. Again, it's always an honor to sit up here with experienced traders. Again, learning a lot has definitely changed my trading over time, and I am very thankful for that. But yeah, this morning's session, quite an aggressive sell-off right off the open, but we seem to be catching a little bit of a bid right now. Hopefully, you guys kind of caught or capitalized some of those opportunities as well as possible. I definitely was not patient enough on ARM, and yeah, I kind of paid for that. It is what it is. Next trade, we are kind of trying to work some more into some of these longs that we have for a potential reversion. I don't know if it'll come or not, but we shall see. Like I said, I will take what the market will give me. I'm trying to get better at that. Again, a lot of the things that I say, I know I'm not good at, and that's why I'm saying them out loud to kind of reinforce that into my mind, because I'm like, I know I have to get over that hurdle if I want to take it to the next level. So with that, we only got about 1 minute left. People talking about Holo, yeah, definitely wild one. Go Sports, hold my beer, for sure, go Sports. Yeah, and we're gonna pass it over to the midday show soon enough for you guys here. And hope you guys tune into that. I hope you guys will learn something fresh. What's the topic today? We got some price action. Learn how to trade. That is what it's called. Thank you, Sharif. And what's the topic for today again? We're talking about making a trading plan. All right. So without any further ado, I'm going to pass it off.
Let's go.
To Adara and Sharif. Thank you guys for tuning in. Stick around.
My guy.
We'll be back at 2. Take it easy, guys.
Thank you very much, boys. What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to How to Trade, formerly known as the Midday Show. That is your girl, Adara. I'm Sharif, and we're going to wait for everyone to migrate on over from the other stream. We already have a couple of early birds, baby. We got Darwin, the Crazy Stitch Lady, Daryl Finch. We got even Adara is in the chat. Can you believe it? Sofa King is a 3. Taking a little bit longer for everyone to migrate on over. There we go. We got Shannon Gregory. Ralph, we got Bears versus Bulls, obviously the world's greatest moderator. We got Rye, we got Cece, all right, Bristol's in the house, Jacko, Wrath Kid, Callum Mitchell Miller as well, Stefan Gilbert, Marcelino, I hope I didn't butcher that. It's just moving a little bit quickly here. We got Carrie Weaver, a little bit slower today, Mr. Happy. Are people migrating on over or what's going on? We got Priyaz.